The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yo, who's up there? Nobody. Hey. So I'll just type up the side comments, and today we're talking about the UFO crash Trinity Case, Jacques Vallée, and other UFO videos, of course. It's been a disappointing day, though. So I'll just post this up here. It'd be good if I could multitask a bit better. Let's see who pops around. It's another late show. Most people probably be in bed. Apart from UK, we probably 8 o'clock in the morning over there. Might be just waking up. Or if you're a night owl, just going to bed. At least the side things we can. Hello. Yep, looking good. I set that to live chat and it changed it. Let's see how well that goes. Anybody out there, just say hi in the side chat. Anyone that comes on voice, and we can arrange it. So this is bring up what we got for today. So yeah, I got lots to go over. So I thought I'd do a midweek one where I feel okay, but I'm a wee bit tired. I've been off the immune pills for 4 days now, and I feel a lot better. But I think maybe there's some sort of stomach virus going around too, and my immune system was suppressed, so it wasn't a good thing. Yeah, hopefully I don't lose my eyesight because I stopped taking them. Then I will have to give up live streaming. Hey Robert, you want to come on voice? So let me know. And we'll see how we go. If you don't want to. Let's see. I never expected you to be up this early. Are you changing your sleep patterns? Yeah, I might need. I just wonder if I need Microsoft Edge to read it out better than I can do it. Let me know and I'll start up the Jitsi. Yeah, it looks like you changed your habits a bit, but you still want to do a show next time at midnight, don't you? Because you got people that interrupt you during the day, I guess. You shouldn't be so popular. So we're going to talk about the Trinity case. What I'll do is I'll put up the free for all one, and you can pop on if you want to. It's been a busy day and a disappointing day, as I was saying. Finding out so-called truthers are not really truthers, but they're just working with other shills in the quiet, making movies together. That was the last straw for me. Started kicking people out of my Discord who I think I can't trust. Anyone that thinks they're best mates with someone that's okay with another shill, that's okay making movies about other shills that are friends of other shills, just forget it. And that includes even the latest MUFON movie. It's full of shills. MUFON is a joke in my opinion now. And I'm just going to do my own thing and my own research and bring up interesting bits as we find it. Won't copy everybody else. Everybody seems to copy each other. As soon as something comes out on UFO Twitter world, as they call it, they all start talking about it. Like, I haven't dived into the Skinwalker Ranch, but I have been posting on Discord what I think things are in the series so far, and I will put it all together into a live show coming up, I guess. But yeah, I'd just like to see how many people out there would agree with me. But yeah, it's been a bit quiet today, which is kind of strange. So yeah, Travis making all these claims of a mystery invisible object above the triangle and rockets exploding into it. It was kind of a laugh. So against this more noise in ufology, and a scientist does not go live on air as soon as something happens and say, oh yeah, it's an object in the sky. They look at the data and look at it with fresh eyes the next morning and process it, video analysis, and then you make your conclusions saying, oh, this is what it was. It wasn't actually an object. So once you make stupid claims live on TV, you're going to have to live with it forever, aren't you? Free for all. Yeah, I can post it in the thing. Let me just get it to you. Just bookmark it, because sometimes I have that so other people can join in if they want to. Like Gabber or whatever, as long as you're okay with that. They're giving us more functionality on Jitsi now, where you can kick people. You can even have holding rooms, or they call them the grey rooms or the green rooms, where you can put people in there, make sure their mic's okay before bringing them on. But I haven't mucked around with that sort of stuff, you know, it's all new to me too. It's the sort of thing you'd have to do off air, right? And play around with it. So, yeah, there you go. So, you're the one that sent me this article on Jacques Vallée. Alright, here we are. I didn't expect you to come on. I wasn't forcing you on. It's really your choice, and you can stay as long as you want. Can you hear me? Can't hear you.
No, I'm here.
Alright, I can hear you now. Might have to boost your volume up though. You're a wee bit far away from the mic there, I think.
Hold on. Yeah, okay, that should be better now, Paul.
Yeah, it's a wee bit better. I think it's almost the same as now. I'll just turn you up a wee bit though. It's normally when Gabber joins, he's normally got his mic on max on. Yeah, say hello to everybody.
Hello, guys. If there is anyone out there. It's a funny time.
Yeah, it looks like maybe your microphone's auto volume changing, actually.
Is it? Honestly.
All right, now you're gone super loud. Yeah.
Okay.
I will try that. It sounds all right to me in the headset. I'm not sure how it's going out though. I have to check.
Yeah.
So Robert's from Wales, UK, as you can tell.
Bookmark this link here,
Why am I getting a double echo though?
yeah, that's good. Honestly.
All right, I was just checking. Well, it was going out to Google, but it's a bit hard because you get the echo. I think it's all right. Normally, you got someone on the side chat, but they probably didn't expect me to do one tonight. I called them all out. You sound good. So we're going to talk about this thing you sent me, article.
Yeah,
crash story.
Really sad, to be honest.
Are we getting echo still from your end? I thought I muted the echo.
Hold on a minute.
Sometimes it was breaking through.
No, I mean I've got YouTube paused.
All right, maybe I heard a bit of that then. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff about crash retrievals at the moment. I haven't sort of been following it all because a lot of it's bunk from what I understand. There's nothing new, unusual about crash retrievals though, is there? They've been doing it for years with the space program, collecting debris that comes down and plane crashes and all that sort of stuff. And probably planes they shoot down too in secret. Or drones or balloons, as we've heard about balloons recently. But UFO crash stories.
It was Project Moon Dust was the first discovered through declassified documents that was basically retrieving anything that wasn't American.
Right.
So
is that an official verified department?
That was. That's in stone. There's no moon dust did exist. But it was purported to be a UFO crash retrieval project, and there was no such thing. It was more designed towards. But of course, if it's foreign, then it could include alien too. But UFO peoples made a little bit too much of it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think it was there more thought like Russian or Chinese satellites that had come to Earth to recover them quickly, blah blah blah. And of course, they would have had. It would have been there. If something out of this world did come down, they'd have had the same policy of picking it up, curving it up.
Yep.
You got it.
Yeah, spy planes and all that stuff, Cold War and all that. Yeah, I wonder why I'm hearing myself occasionally. Must be a slight delay between us.
Could be, but I can't hear any echo from your voice, Paul.
Yeah, I hear it this end sometimes when it breaks through. The cancellations, if it's like a few milliseconds out. Wearing a headset is always going to be better though. But anyway, so let's go through this thing here. The Trinity UFO crash, Jacques Vallée, Paula Harris, is it?
Yeah, Paula Harris. Yeah, but she's been caught. Paula Harris. I don't know why on earth Jacques Vallée teamed up with her, because she's been found out in the past to have done extremely poor research. Her philosophy is, don't do a background check on the witness. Just look into their eyes, listen to them. If they're sincere, as far as she's concerned, that's good enough. But as we know, people can come over as extremely sincere. And
Yeah.
they're telling a complete shed load of lies.
And they can be very nice people.
Yeah, well, apparently, Pearl Harbor spent 12 years with these guys, you know. Rene Bakker and Jose Padilla. Yeah, and she never worked any of them out. And I think now William Duffy was the apparent third witness. But there was a payday in this for all of them, you know.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
So I've not heard of this Douglas Dean Johnson.
No, and he's not entirely a skeptic either, you know.
Yeah. So he's got it listed here as a crash hoax. So straight out.
You'll find him on Twitter.
Right.
You won't find him on. I'm not saying he's never done a podcast.
Yeah.
But you won't find him easily on a podcast. But he should be commended for the work he's done here.
Right.
Now, Vallee spent, I think, 6 years with these witnesses as well. Didn't bother doing any background check. And it took this Douglas Johnson 3 months. 3 months to uncover. Oh, I mean, this is like, there's nothing you can dispute about this evidence. Yeah, Trinity crash is a hoax.
Yeah, it's been a few UFO crashes, like the Aztec one, wasn't it? Aztec one?
Oh, there's hoax for you.
Oh, yeah. Trying to sell, what was it, special tools of some kind? Metal detectors for gold, wasn't it? Was that the one?
They always, no, I'll just explain that quickly now.
Yeah.
You always have to go to the original source to understand any case, whether it's a big case like a UFO crash or just a simple witness sighting. You need to go to the original source. If you do that with the Aztec crash, you're looking at Silas Newton.
Let's party.
Leo Gabber.
Oh, this is my laptop saying. Yeah, okay. Carry on.
Yeah, Silas Newton. Oh, hold on, let me speak, for God's sakes. Silas Newton and Leo Gabber, who were two. They were exploiters, really, of the oil scam that was really going on, and they claimed they had alien technology that could detect oil under the ground. Yeah, and that device was proved to be something that you could pick up for just a couple of dollars in Navy and hardware store. And so that's the people the Aztec crash is coming from. So, you know, if someone came down to your property and says, listen, I can detect if there's oil or not on your property, I'm going to charge you $250,000, and I have an alien device that will tell me 100% whether there's oil on your grounds or not. Are you going to believe them?
No. I want to show it proven.
Unfortunately, several people did, but they were convicted in the end. They didn't get away with it. But yeah, these are the same people that are telling you about the Aztec crash. You know, Mr. G, the 12 scientists, and all. It's an awful case. It really is. And the Ramseys have knocked the hell out of it. I think they've got a second book coming out now. Sue Ramsey claims she's found 55,000 documents relating to the Aztec crash, and she cannot produce a single one.
That sounds about right, doesn't it?
55,000. That was on the Martin Willis show. If you don't believe me, go check it out.
Don't start on that.
Yeah.
Me and Martin had a falling out because I made a comment that LEHTO should stick to flying planes and not doing video analysis.
Flying planes?
Yeah, LEHTO. Yeah, Chris LEHTO. He's an ex-pilot, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, well...
He thinks the bee's knees of him, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, he's made a couple of cock-ups.
Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few. There was that one with the birds, and all it took was David Beatty zoomed in, and you could clearly see it had more to do with ornithology than ufology.
Is that the one Mick West posted yesterday?
Jesus, man. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I think Mick West posted that yesterday or last night. Actually, was it the swallows or something?
No. But I said that at the time.
Right.
I don't know if Mick West has said anything.
Yeah, it was fairly obvious.
Yeah,
it was. So it was fairly obvious that it was birds. Actually, let's just see before we carry on. Let's see if it is the same one.
Didn't do that work, That was James Beatty that found that first.
Yeah. I think he did give credit to Beatty and listed him. Actually, I'll just find him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, since we're talking about it, so people can see what we're talking about. Mick West, why putting John in? Was it not coming up? Oh, here we go. Yeah, he did put up something with birds. I just think it's the same one. Let me just have a look. It was last night. I'll probably have to go back over some of his posts here. Anyway, this one here. Is that the one? Just zoom in. Classic 2004 UFO fleet over Guadalajara. Is that the one? Or was it another case?
I think it was a bit later than that, I think it was more like 2020.
Maybe it's not the same one then. But yeah, if you look at this video here, let's see. You can clearly see it's birds. There you go, look. It's a fleet of UFOs, apparently. 2013. So you reckon your other one was a bit older? You can even see the wings, man. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Who put that out?
Yeah, and he was going on about they were doing Mach 12. Oh my God!
Who is that channel? I don't know who that channel is. Looks like a South American thing. Leader in Neuro.
The thing is, Chris LEHTO is a nice guy. He really is a nice guy.
Oh yeah, most people are nice in ufology.
Yeah, most of them are. It's just that you've got to be really careful before you put stuff out and make, silly claims.
Yeah.
And that made a fool of ufology, to be honest, really, didn't it?
Well, that one, Australian one, I think he called that one out, though, but they were saying it was a flashlight. But I said...
Well, hopefully be a bit more careful in the future.
Yeah, I thought it was a portable electric USB fan that had a LED light in the middle. Because you could see the fan structure. Once you got the right frame and filter, it showed up. Oh, he's disappeared. BT, was it? I don't know if you can find it here. Let's just type it up. Is that how you spell his name? BT. Birds. You haven't got that link to that bird video, have you? Let's see.
No.
BT. No, that's not it. It's a bird. It's a plane.
I tend to dismiss those things from my database once they've been proven to be hoax.
Well, I think that's something we'd have to bring up again later, probably, and have a look at it. But yeah, it's funny that no one's joined us yet. I think Google's suppressing me. It doesn't matter. We're quite happy doing a show together, and people watch it later.
Of course, I love talking about UFOs. There we go. But Chris LEHTO, he's an F-16 pilot, you see, so
Yeah.
He's got a lot of subs already just because of that. Now, Chris Leto was an F-16 pilot. There's no question that. I mean, that's just in stone. But another one, I don't know if you're aware of him, is Professor Simon.
Don't know. Not heard that one. I don't think.
Yeah. He's got 100,000 subs already. He hasn't been going long. Well, I can tell you, he's not a professor.
Oh God! Not another one.
Yeah. I only just found this out. And he thought he'd use the name for the simple reason, Professor, that he'd get more attention. Now, his reason for calling himself, his reason for calling himself a professor, he was called in to a college, not a university, for several weeks to cover as a lecturer. That's it, mate.
Right.
That's all he has. That's all he has to call himself, Professor Simon. And the thing is, like, I know people that got PhDs. I talk to a couple quite regular, and when you're speaking to those guys, you just know, because they sound like professors, and Professor Simon just doesn't. He doesn't.
Also, I had a couple of bachelor science degrees, basically. Well, I call it 1.5 really. One's a college university. It was upgraded to a university at the time, and they ended up asking me if I could teach and prepare the material for one of their CAD/CAM computer courses, which I did. And it was good money. It was like $65 New Zealand an hour, which is like probably back then about $40 an hour. So it was good money coming in, but I kind of enjoyed it. To know your stuff, you have to. If you stand up in front of a class, you got to know your stuff, else you get called out straight away. And I said to him, I'll just teach it how I learnt it, without all the complicated maths and all this. And I said, here's the simple way to look at it, and we'll just break it all down, how to add binary numbers together and all that sort of stuff. So I would do all that sort of basic computer stuff, and I'd just do it all up on the board, and it went pretty well, But I left there to go to Australia. But I probably would have had a job there permanently teaching. Probably go from, you normally start off part-time, then they get you into full-time. But because they were going for degree status, everybody that goes in front of a class has to have a minimum of a Bachelor of Science degree or higher. Okay. And of course, after Bachelor, you get Bachelor of Honours, and then you get Masters, and then you get PhD. Now, for Masters, you have to do like a research project that no one's done before, and present it at the end of the year for the rest of your marks, basically. So, and of course, you extend your 3-year, 4-year degree to 5 or 6 or whatever. And then the professor obviously goes on for a few more years after that. And more probably research papers and stuff, right? So, to walk into front of a class and say you're now a professor sounds very dodgy indeed. But he must have had at least some qualifications for them to do that. Yes, it sounds a bit Mickey Mousey overseas to me.
No, he's actually told someone I was speaking to, look, I'm not a real professor. I just thought it would be a good thing if I used that on my channel.
And now you said so that, though.
He's a fraud. There's no other word for it.
So has he got any qualifications at all, or not?
Not to my knowledge.
So we had
even if he filled in as a lecturer at the college for I don't know, I think several weeks. That's what I was told. He must have. some qualifications in something.
Well, maybe
so
not. Maybe not.
Most
We've had lecturers at university that claim to have worked for aerospace and all this stuff, right? It sounds a bit like ufology. And they took his word for it. They didn't bother doing a full background check on all his work history. Turned out it was all made up. And he actually had no qualifications whatsoever. And he was in front of a class teaching, and he was useless. He was really useless. And after that event, the person that hired him felt really embarrassed. And I think it turned out the person that hired him was actually also doing stealing stuff from the university, and he got caught. So he lost his job. And I think he settled a fine instead of going to prison or something. They did a deal. And this other guy was from UK with all these highfalutin qualifications and work history got found out. And he left, was asked to leave, else they would sack him. So he left. But the guy worked for a factory next. As a manager, as a engineering manager, because this was an engineering, right? And he was there for a year, and people got very suspicious because he was useless. He didn't have the right talk, like you were saying. Like, you know, they like to use abbreviations and big words and all that sort of stuff. So someone decided to do a full background check on him, and they found out that he didn't have all these qualifications and work history, because they phoned up the place and said, "Oh, did you used to have someone so employed at Aerospace UK, whatever it's called? I'm not sure what the full name was." And they said no. So he was laid off. No, again, at this corporation, they gave him the option of being sacked or quietly leaving, and they'll get a new manager in. And he then went to Philippines and got a job there managing a factory over there or something. But yeah, this sort of thing does happen where you get people pretending they got qualifications. That's why I always put mine out there. I always took photocopy of a snapshot scan of my qualifications, as well as reference letters were signed by the people to prove that I was actually teaching for them and all this sort of stuff. Because, as you know, there's a lot of haters out there that say you're a liar.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But there is some people out there, and this is a fact, that have been in a job 20, 25 years before they've been found out. And they were actually quite good at the job. They just learnt what they'd done. They just learnt what they'd done through books.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can do that, obviously, nowadays. Depends on whether there's books written, but nowadays there's books written on every subject, right? And you can use the internet now. Now you got GPT, the AI thing. So Gabber, you can come on voice if you want to. It's on the free for all. But yeah, you might have to adjust the volumes if you do come on. I'm not sure why we're getting a little bit echo back on the free for all one though. It's kind of strange. I don't think we've tried it with the free for all one because it's got different. I added.
Well, I certainly can't hear anything like that on my end, Paul.
Yeah. It might be my end. Maybe I have to turn it back on. But I'm not sure if it's coming out on the YouTube. But it doesn't really matter. It's only minor. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this crash hoax thing. So I suppose we should focus on that and then talk about the other stuff. Yeah. So I guess I'll go through and read some of it. So... Did aliens land on Earth in 1945? So that was just after World War II, wasn't it?
Well,
apparently.
World War II. Hold on. What?
Oh no, hang on. Was it nuclear testing? Nuclear testing time. Right.
Yeah, that was Trinity. So that would have been before the two bombs were dropped.
Yeah.
On Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah. So was World War II still happening then?
Yeah. Well, they hadn't. This was a couple of days after the Trinity event, which was testing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there was radiation everywhere, and they turned around and said it was an ammunition depot that had blown up. That was their cover story. And apparently, a couple of days after that, this UFO crash landed. There was aliens. Blah,
right.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
World War II was still in progress, yes, but
must have ended soon after that then.
Well, of course it did. Trinity was around about June, July, and the Japanese surrender was.
Let's find out.
15th of September, I think the Japanese surrender was.
Yeah, let's just get the dates correct here.
Yeah,
All right, 2nd of September 1945 is when World War II ended.
2nd, was it? Oh,
2nd
I
of
think, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Trinity nuclear test, was it? Nuclear test.
Here it'd been about June or July.
What's it say here? July the 16th. So that was quite a few months beforehand then. So let's see. Once the atom bomb was done, Germany would have been the next target if they didn't surrender, right?
Well, no, Germany had already gone.
They already gone.
Yeah.
All right. When did they? Okay, when did they drop it on Japan? That's probably what we need to find out. Japan bomb drop.
Yeah, but that date, the Japanese surrender was actually the 15th. I'm fairly confident.
On 6th and 9th of August 1945, United States detonated 2 atomic bombs over Japan, and then a week later or days later they surrendered, didn't they? So that was just before September. So they surrendered just before the Germans then.
I'm sure the surrender was the 15th of September, you know.
Took that long?
G'day. G'day, Rob. G'day, Paul.
We're just catching up on our history and dates here on the Second World War.
I used to remember when World War 1 and 2 started, day, time, hour, minute, second. I'm just like 45, 1945 now.
Let me just stick Rob on the main screen.
What have you been up to, Rob? Anything exciting?
Yes, actually, yeah. We can talk about it in a bit.
Right, let me just lower your volume down a wee bit, Gab. Okay, say hello.
Hello.
I think we're about right.
There's aliens inside the moon.
No, okay. It was Paul. It was the actual official surrender was the 2nd of September.
That was Germany, same time as Japan.
What?
Surely not. The 2nd of September was World War II, but we were talking about Japan surrender.
Yeah.
What date was it? Concluded when Germany surrendered on 8th of May 45. How come we got September then before?
I thought it was the 5th of May.
2nd of September 1945, surrender of Japan.
Yeah, Japan. We're talking on Germany.
Right. So the surrender of Japan was on the 2nd. And the May, that sounds right. So Germany had surrendered beforehand.
Yeah, I told you the Germans had already gone by then. They were out of it.
Yeah. Okay, now we've got the right timelines.
Japan had all of Southeast Asia. They weren't giving it up. So we had to nuke them. Get out of here. Go back home.
God, this is turning into history. Listen. World War II.
Well, it's good to refresh your memories on these things, I guess. So, obviously,
Hitler ran away. They didn't even get Hitler. All that trouble, and they didn't get Hitler. He went to Brazil. with Argentina.
Well, that does sound like it, doesn't it? Like
I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, they reckon
we're never going to prove it. There was this documentary that had a picture. They reckon they had a picture of him and had like a bald head, and he was like living in Argentina. The girl was sitting there going, I was Hitler's wife and I'm Hitler's granddaughter. I'm like, here we go. Brazilians will say anything if you give them some money.
Exactly. Hence, well, this is these guys with the Trinity crash. I think they were Mexicans.
Mm. So let's carry on with this then.
That comes out of South America.
The Defense Department annual spending bill requires it to review UFO sightings dating to 1945, the year some believe an object from space crashed in the New Mexico desert. Haven't we heard that before? Jacques Vallée.
I've heard of Jacques Vallée, but I haven't read this garbage. Is this garbage, I'm guessing?
The best kept secret, Hoax.
Oh no, this must be the real deal. It says the best kept secret. It has to be legit. It says on the cover. It's legit. Best kept secret.
So on January 13th, January 13th, 2023, the New York Times posed a question in its headline inspired by specific claims about a reported UFO crash in New Mexico in August 1945, and after 3 months of investigation.
That's not Roswell. Roswell was July, wasn't it? 16 July, wasn't it?
No, it's not Roswell. No. This is another one.
No, this is Roswell.
Roswell's 47. Roswell's 47, 2 years
That's
after.
right.
Roswell was 8th of July, 1947.
Yeah, but you've probably heard of other UFO crashes that happened before.
July, I keep forgetting.
After the 3-month investigation, I believe I have the answer, which I have superimposed on the book that promotes the claims. Always shills making money with books and movies. By Douglas Dean Johnson. We're going to use it under transformative work here, fair use. So let's go to it. Original publication May the 1st, 2023. That's not too long ago. So we have a very unusual situation there where, I'll just zoom it down a bit, where we have the best possible witnesses, Jacques Vallée, a different perspective. A different perspective, isn't that? What's his name? Randall, isn't it?
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, that's a bit of a mix-up because Kevin Randall never condoned this story at all.
You are reading the Hub article, Crash Story, the Trinity UFO Crash Hoax, but below you will find a series of links to the Crash Story files, sub-stories that present documentation and conclusions about specific issues related to the credibility and claims of the witnesses to a reported UFO crash and military recovery near San Antonio, which is Texas, I believe. Isn't it?
No. Paul, don't.
No, it's not.
I can't mistake.
No, yeah, I'll get confused about those locations. Yeah, New Mexico.
There's one.
Yeah.
Well, let me finish. There's one in New Mexico and there's one in Texas.
Yeah, we got a slight delay between you and me for some reason. August 1945. The subject of a book titled Trinity, the Best Kept Secret by Jacques Vallée and how'd you say your name again? Paola
Harris.
Possessi Harris.
Paola.
How'd you say it? How'd you say your name? How'd you say it?
Just call her Paula. Just call her Paula.
Paula.
The female version of you, Paula.
Is that because she's like South American or something, and they spell Paul differently down there or something?
No, she's not. She's American.
Okay. I haven't seen a picture of her, so I don't know. Each of these crash story files is being published as a freestanding article with its own URL. However, not every crash story file will go live simultaneously. So you see crash story file titles that are not yet hyperlinked. Check back in a few days. Additional topic articles may be added later. You can subscribe to the free blog.
This book just sounds like misdirection. It just smells like misdirection to me.
Yeah,
I don't know about you.
The best thing you can do is get to those links there.
These links here.
Original
introduction.
Because they're just going to speculate off the links. That's all they're going to be doing in this book. You can tell straight away.
The astonishing story of the Trinity UFO crash and alien craft.
Gabber, the links are to the debunking exercise, not the book itself.
Yeah.
An alien craft crashing in August 1945, which we already read out a few times, near the site of the first atomic test, witnessed by two boys, herded off by the army and hidden ever since. I've heard that sort of line before, haven't we? Has been presented to a wide audience in 2 editions of the book Trinity, The Best Kept Secret by Jacques Vallée and Paula Harris in June 2021. So it's not that old, is it? And through promotional efforts spun off the book in late 2022 and early 2023, the story reached a substantially expanded audience through amplifying treatments by Fox News network host Tucker Carlson. Yeah, I don't really watch him though, so I didn't know anything about him interviewing them. Writers Joss Boswell and Christopher Sharp of the UK Daily Mail, well, there's a rag straight away, the host of various UFO themed podcasts and platforms, and even a respectful spin-off feature story in the New York Times written by Remy Tooman. See the crash story here. I suppose that goes to the article, does it? As I have written elsewhere, I believe that anomalous devices under apparent intelligent control operating in the air and sometimes seen on the ground have been reported by many credible observers since at least late World War II. I believe that some of these UFOs are likely of non-prosaic, unknown origin, unknown to me anyway. I entertain the possibility that some component of the US government may have recovered an anomalous device or portions thereof on one or more occasions over the past 70 years. Few things could... I lost my place. Where did we get to? Portions. Few things could delight me more than to see such a claim prove true. I think it would make us all pretty happy. And details laid out for the public and scientific examination before I pass from the mortal sphere. Well, that's what we're all in this game for, is we want the truth before we die. But this story is not that story. Damn. No, the Trinity UFO crash story is a tale dreamed up by a serial pretender. Well, there's plenty of those in ufology. Remy Becker, aka Ray Becker, now deceased, who faked a history as a political kingmaker and a senior aide to the government and fabricated a story about viewing an ultra-secret government file about his fake UFO crash. Becker enlisted a man who faked a history as a police officer and wounded veteran, Joseph Lopez, Josie Padilla. These two, is that right? Yeah. These two fakers hijacked the names of personalities. How do you say that one? Personals. Personas, yeah. I just had to get it in my head. Names and personas of a real policeman. Eddie Apoggia, Eddie Apogdaka, and a real governor, Dixie Lee Ray, as the characters in their shoddy work of fiction. Do you want to say anything at that stage there, guys? Or do I carry on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, stolen valor.
Yeah, we get a lot of that.
Kind of thing, yeah, I mean, once you've been caught out in that kind of lie, can you honestly believe anything else the guy is going to tell you?
No.
I mean, who would have the outright balls, you know, to fake stolen valor, to say you've been, you know, an ex-cop or a Marine, and you're just not, and man, I don't know what type of person it takes to do that kind of thing. Well, obviously the type of person who could drive a UFO crash, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of. Yeah, I think there's a lot of attention seekers.
And Jacques Vallée. Oh, Paul, you're talking over me.
Yeah, we got a delay. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, I know, but once I've started, obviously, let me finish before you speak.
Well, I saw you stopped on my end, but yeah, we've got about a 1 or 2 second outage here at the moment. I'm not sure why, but yeah, carry on. Jacques Vallée.
No, I'm just saying that once you go down that road of stolen valor, and you claim to be someone kind of heroic, and you are not that person. You're just an ordinary guy, you know, Joe Normal. Yeah. And then you make up a UFO story. Who's going to believe it? Now, all it would have taken was a little bit of digging by Vallee and Harris, and all of this would have been avoided.
Mm-hmm. And especially if it was 2021, because there's a lot of tools online now where you can do background checks, right?
Yeah, well, listen, it only took this guy. What's his name again? Douglas Dean Johnson. It only took him 3 months to comprehensively debunk this whole case. Paul Harris had 12 years. Vallee had 6 years.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Jacques Vallée, does it?
Oh no, that's tarnished his reputation now. Do you know what? I'll tell you what the best thing they can do. Let me finish, Paul. The best thing they can do, is done what Peter Robbins did with Left at East Gate, and take the book out of publishing.
Yeah.
Take it out of.
Yeah. Because they're still making lots of money of it, right?
Of course they are. And if they don't do the right thing now, they're going to make it even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Take it out of circulation.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense to me. And if you want to keep your reputation, of course, say, oh, I stuffed up. I was misled, or I trusted someone else to do the back. Yeah, he could come out and say he didn't actually do the background check. The other partner did, or something. We'll throw them under the bus.
Yeah, but that's throwing someone else under the bus. They're both to blame. They're both got to shoulder the blame.
Yeah.
You can't throw your partner under the bus and.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to swear then, but no. Okay. Damn. It's a shame because Jacques Vallée, I don't want to call him a fraud. I really don't. But
no. I'm pretty sure he was a pretty decent guy back in the old days with Heineck and all that. I think
there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Ufology has benefited from Jacques Vallée. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get over this one.
No. But we find that with a lot of people that they run out of material and they start embellishing stuff or what you recommend in cases which are dodgy, instead of just keeping to their true morals and fact checking and science of it all. And
they see all the fake stuff making more money than the real stuff, so they turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't believe that Vallee needs that money now at his time in life, and I don't know. You never know. You never know. Some people are kind of addicted to the old dollars, but there's another thing with Vallee as well. And in recent years, it's become clear that he's had a lot of involvement with Neds and, in a nutshell, the Bigelow crowd as well. I don't trust a lot of them.
Yeah, so that's the problem. You got to watch out for these disinfo agents that are breaking their way into the UFO community to break it up, right?
They've been doing it for decades. They've been doing it for decades. There's probably people that they haven't even figured out the disinformation agents. They're that good at it. But most of them are like blatant, obvious. They're just like no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. And of course, that's been the problem with MUFON, because they've been hiring a lot of ex-government and ex-CIA and all sorts of people, right? And you just can't trust them.
They had Hilkenhouter. NICAP had Hilkenhouter on their board. Now, Hilkenhouter was the first ever CIA director. And, and they had them on the board.
No one's ever ex-CIA.
Gabber. Robert, so 2 seconds behind us, Gabber. So when you think there's an opening and you start talking, he hasn't actually finished.
All right, I'll wait 5-10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah, you just got to pause back and carry on, Robert. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, after Hilkenhouter was in there, more and more people from the CIA became involved, and they got on the board in the end. Eventually, they sacked Keyhole, and once they sacked Keyhole, that was the end of NICAP.
Yeah.
So basically, the CIA infiltrated the group, got positions on the board where they could actually,
influence,
actually do something. And what they basically done was shut it down.
Yeah, that's right.
You'd be very careful if you're introducing people with an intelligence background into a civilian group, because they probably have not got good intentions. Okay, I'm done. Please speak.
Okay, Gab, you can have your turn now.
No, there's no ex-CIA. If you've joined the CIA, you're CIA for life. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that just don't come out, I was ex-CIA, and I'm not CIA anymore. It's like, hang on a sec. You've spent 20, 30 years in the CIA. What, you all of a sudden going to come around and do things that you're not supposed to do that the CIA don't like? Rubbish.
Yeah. Well, how would you class Hynek then? Because he was sort of working for the government in that aspect, and he turned it right around. Obviously, he had morals in the end that he just couldn't sleep at night, and he wanted to know the truth as well, There's that 1 in a million, you know what I'm saying? There's that 1 in a million, but any ex-government worker or CIA or any information services worker, you just can't trust. Simple. I don't know why people even listen to them to begin with. Yeah,
they want to believe so much that they're willing to hear stories, fantasy stories from an ex-government and CIA worker. Those people have problems. They got real problems.
Yeah.
Well, MUFON sold all its cases, its whole database, to Bigelow for $1 million. Now, there was names in there, and those people reported to MUFON in the belief that their names would never come to light.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just opened up a can of worms.
So not only did they pass on the cases, they passed on the names and the contact details of everyone who thought they were anonymous.
Now they have to be silenced.
Bigelow's organization has always been full of intelligence people.
Yeah.
Davis, semi-band.
Yeah.
They could have got more than $1 million for that. They lowballed it.
They never, Gabber, they never even got all the money.
Never even got all the money.
Unbelievable.
Can't trust that Bigelow.
No, sure sounds like it.
That's his television show, what, the Skinwalker Ranch or something, isn't it?
No, that's
he was part of the. Yeah, he was part that's
of
a big long.
Property owner or something.
Green Streak put a series up that covers all that. Green Streak.
I never watched that garbage. So like every time Paul talks about something, it's like news to me. I was like, and he's like, "Didn't you hear about Skinwalker?" I'm like, "I don't care about Skinwalker. I don't want to know. I'm not going to watch it. Don't even bother sending me a Skinwalker link because I will not click on it."
Not me.
But yeah, I have to because I have to expose the BS in it. But
I feel sorry for you. You have to listen to that.
Yeah, but apparently, from what was it Eric Luke's show? She was saying that a lot of people it might have been Green Streak. They were saying that a lot of the people were falsifying reports of seeing skinwalkers back to Bigelow so they could keep their jobs. I don't know how true that is, but that sounds right on the money to me. I think it was Green Streak that came up with that information, but it might have been in that documentary. I probably need to watch it again. But yeah, I kind of like Green Streak, but again, I don't really trust him either. You know, he does some good debunking there, and he has been.
You had Nick Pope on his show.
Sorry,
you had Nick Pope on his show.
Did he?
Good
God, right, yeah. I pointed that out, but
it was called the Basement Office.
Yeah, but Nick Pope wasn't too bad in it though. Just to give him some credit here, he was read up on the history of things, and he was actually not a bad sidekick for spouting the facts out, but. Apart from him and his work history and all that business that we've been over in the past live shows, he's actually really a nice guy, obviously, just like everybody else I keep saying in ufology, especially the TV personality. You have to come across as a nice guy, but behind the scenes they might not be, you know.
Hey, listen, last year I seen a post from Nick Pope. This is what it said. Have you always wanted to talk to me? I thought, well, no. Well, now you can.
Don't crack me up.
Well, now, wait for it. Well, now, you can ask me anything. $10.
$10.
And you had 4 minutes for your $10 to ask Nick Pope any question. Do you know what?
Yeah. Did you pay?
Say, why are you such a...
That's hilarious. Are you still there? Or are you locked up? You got a straight face there. I don't know how you can keep a straight face telling that story. I really don't.
I wouldn't give him 10 cents.
I don't know. For $10, you could. Oh my God. $10, you could really get a good question on.
Oh yeah. Well, I might have been deleted, of course, but yeah, it'd be good to do it live. Oh,
yeah. I personally, I don't hate the guy though. What I'm saying, I don't hate the guy, but I think he's a bit of a detriment to ufology. That's all. But there's a lot of people like that. So yeah, I suppose we should carry on with the story here. To the original fiction of Becker and Padilla, others later grafted on. Does he mean grifted? Grafted on the morphin delusional fantasies of the eccentric son William P. Billy Prof of a long deceased military pilot, William J. Prof. The pilot himself probably had no connections whatsoever to any of the multiple and conflicting UFO crash stories to which his name has been attached to by the fabulous son. Fabulous. What we got here? Next one, the article, crash story, the Trinity Case, UFO crash hoax, and the link crash story files series are based on my journalistic investigation extended over 3 months, which you said earlier before, Rob. As of May 1st, 2023, I present exclusive documentation establishing that all three of the claimed eyewitnesses sources, Becker, Padilla, and Brophy, have propagated lies and or fantasies that are absolutely fatal to their credibility. Because I have demonstrated, in my opinion, that the three primary sources have all engaged in multiple gross fabrication, it would be folly to attach any credence whatsoever to any of the conflicting versions of UFO crash recovery events that they have described. Those are my opinions and conclusions. I believe that any objective reader will find in the attached crash story files ample evidence to justify my assessments. Where we go? Indeed, I believe that my findings regarding New Mexican State Policeman Eddie Apodka, that's that word, Apodka, even without any of the rest of it, are fatal to the original Becker, Padilla, Tau, and all the subplots that have been spun out from it. Okay, regarding the nature and quality of earlier investigations of the Trinity story by Paula Harris and Jacques Vallée, readers may reach their own judgments after reviewing the linked series of the crash story files. Remember, the material you read in the crash story files was all assembled by a citizen journalist. A real journalist, none of these fake ones, very much part-time, with no cooperative media platform and with financial resources that I feel it's safe to assert are very far short of those reputed to be available to Jacques Vallée. I don't apologise for the formidable volume of the material linked here. The current elaborate version of the Trinity UFO crash tale has been constructed in layers over the past 20 years. The story has been entertained by some in the mainstream media, which is Fox News obviously, and by some in the halls of Congress in the dismantling of this hoax. The devil is indeed in the details. Still, I do not claim that I have drilled down to bottom on every aspect of the history of the hoax. The tale has grown and morphed over a 20-year period. We know how Roswell did as well. The current Vallée Harris presentation incorporates claims that flatly contradict early statements by Becker and Padilla that have been overlooked, ignored, or forgotten. Moreover, there are pertainment documents that I have yet to procure. There are sources who have not responded. Isn't that the way on ufology too? A lot of people don't respond to you. Some may have been discouraged from doing so. Yeah, you get people that work against you in the background saying, "Do not interview this guy. Do not go on his show." And no doubt others.
I've been victim of that. But can I just say one thing quickly here?
Yeah, carry on.
Just quickly. This Trinity case was debunked years and years, before Vallee has decided to reinvent it, basically. It had already been debunked. So I'm not knocking this guy's new research and debunking work. And I'm saying the elements of doubt, and there was many of them, were already there long before. I recall that as well. And when the book came out, I thought, I'm not going to say any names, but there was quite a few people in the UFO community who were putting the book up and promoting it. Oh, it's a fantastic book, you've got to read it. And I thought, no, this case, there's lots of questions about it. Many years before Vallee and Harris's book came out. And not only that, there was another thing I thought was the Roswell crash. They made a Hoax of that crash there. Every damn person had seen those materials before the cover eventually came into place. But we'll talk about Roswell on another day. But if something had crashed in 45, they would have been ready and waiting for something else like that to happen again. And they'd done a hell of a lot of a better job of recovering the debris and, well, as is purported, the bodies, what have you, then they'd have been on red alert for that kind of thing happening again. For me, the Roswell incident showed the complete naivety on the part of the authorities, and I don't believe any such incident had happened previously.
Yeah, it's just they say there's no money in ufology, but obviously there's a few that do make good money out of it.
There's plenty of money in ufology as long as you get right to the top. Yeah, but I mean, look at people like Lou Jimenez now, who's done a full U-turn on ufology. He said himself he was making £12,000 a year. Yeah, that's a nice little supplement, isn't it?
Yeah, he was doing pretty good.
Nice little supplement to your wages.
Yep. He could have kept going with the grift, right? He could have kept going.
Yeah. And let's face it, Lou Jimenez, it was only when he fell out with Lou Elizondo and that thing with Rather Be Squidding, and that thing with the Felon 5, and then the other UFO celebrities didn't want to know him then, because he'd gone a little bit against the grain. So now he's thrown a big shitty fit, and he's thrown the whole of ufology under the bus.
Yeah, he has to.
He's doing his Church of Ufology now by calling us, witnesses as well. He's calling us all fools, idiots.
Yeah, we're all.
I know UFO is real. I've spoken to so many people, far too many people. I know it's real. I've seen for myself as well.
Yeah.
I don't need someone like him who's sulking because he didn't make a fortune out of it and didn't become a top UFO celeb, telling me I'm onto nothing. And I haven't been into it like 5 years like him. Do you know what I mean?
Why does he call it a church? Why is he doing a cult-like mentality? He's copying.
He's trying to say that we're all
nut jobs.
We're all like religious nutters. And,
he said, I don't want to say there's a lot of mentality in there, but it's obviously some is.
What he's doing now, he's doing basically what Eric Lucas is doing, and he's portraying himself as a victim.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Not my fault it went wrong. Don't get involved in the UFO celebs.
Yeah, I was a victim ever since I started telling the truth here 8 years ago.
There you go.
There's no money if you're going to tell the truth, but if you want to spin a big fantasy, there's a lot of money, and then you get lots of followers. UFO Jesus, look where he started, and look where he is now.
Yeah, exactly. Now, well, he is UFO Jesus, is what I call a Lue-fologist. Don't speak bad about Zondo. No. Can't speak bad about Zondo. Yeah, because if I speak bad about Zondo, I lose all my subs. Oh no.
Yeah.
Then I don't get no runs. And it's the same with most of these podcasts now.
Yeah.
They're all Zondo guys.
Yeah.
All the ones that are making money
are
Zondo guys. And I think a lot of them have their doubts about him, but they won't say it, because you look at UFO Twitter now and how many people, Zondo fans, there's an awful lot of them, you know.
Yeah.
They're
everywhere.
Yeah.
I made Brucey's all angry because he was talking on his live stream all about Lue Elizondo, and he went onto the Black Vault and he's reading it word for word, the article on the Black Vault that's showing Lue Elizondo is crap, and he's just picking certain words, going, see what they said about Lue Elizondo. This Lue Elizondo must be legit.
No.
If they're saying that, he was twisting the words around. It was a debunk on Black Vault saying Lue Elizondo is a fake, and he's twisting the words, going, see what they're saying about Lue Elizondo? That must mean Lue Elizondo is telling the truth because they're saying these things. And I spammed his chat going, you need to go, like, there's videos debunking Lue Elizondo. He's ripped people off with TTSA. Like, seriously, like, this guy's fake. I was spamming his chat, just spamming it. And when he read it, he got angry. He got really, really angry at me. He's like, prove it, Gabber. Prove it. I'm like, what do you mean prove it? I just told you. My friends make videos on him. We've got hours and hours and hours of videos exposing him and showing evidence how he's fake. He goes, no, I don't believe it until you prove it. I posted the link in the comments in his chat.
There's two main players that exposed him. That was McGowan and Green Street.
Green Street, yeah.
Oh, right.
I posted the link to the Green Street documentary.
Greenwald as well.
They never thanked me or said, "Oh, thanks for sharing this information." Yeah. No one looked at it. They all want to believe so bad that they will not look at facts and evidence.
Yeah, it was Black Vault that first exposed something wasn't quite right. Remember?
I've given up. I've given up on them. I'm just like, go into your rabbit hole and dig deep and look for carrots. I don't care about you anymore.
Yeah. I think Rob's gone to the toilet again. So we'll just carry on maybe with the article. Here is basically sounds like a disclaimer at the top here. PASO will be shown to be an error in some details. See, that to me that's like covering your ass. Because people always will find a hole in the report on a case, right? And they'll just dive into that and say and just try and tear it apart. When overall, those little minor errors didn't really matter, right? And that's what they do with Lue as well, right? Lue and a few other big names out there. When convinced of an error, I will correct it here and show my work, but the information that I have already compiled and that I didn't distill for you here is more than sufficient to reach an unequivocally negative conclusion. Beyond a reasonable doubt on the credibility of Trinity UFO crash recovery story. The role of Jacques Vallée. That's such a shoddy narrative pasted together from a rough heathen and morphin tale of Remy Becker, Jose, isn't it Jose? You have to say the J's as H's. I keep forgetting that. Jose Padilla and Billy Profi could have received such wide exposure over the past couple of years with respectful reception, even in the pages of New York Times. Now, New York Times is that Leslie Kean, isn't it? And the stuff I've seen on her recently has put me in odds with that woman as well now, unfortunately. Because I used to like her cover of the O'Hare Airport stuff. But yeah, more I hear about her being friends with Dr. Greer and other shills means that she's easily influenced and probably can't trust a lot of the stuff she's come out with, now.
Leslie Kean.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you finish, Paul.
Yeah, you can jump in.
Okay. Well, Leslie Kean wrote a really good book. I think it was. It must have been back around 2012, 2014.
Yeah, I think I recall it.
Generals, pilots, police officers, blah blah, go on record. I'm not sure that's the exact title, but it's
it rings a bell.
Good book, and it's really well researched, and it's got a lot of documents in it, declassified documents, and it's top notch research. But since Elizondo has come on the scene,
corrupted it all, hasn't he?
Very much in that camp as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's kind of in that camp with Mellon and Lue, and I think that may have jaded a better judgment. I really don't know.
Especially being friends with Dr. Greer certainly would.
Well, I don't know if you know this here. A little bit of trivia for you here. Who was Leslie Kean married to?
Oh, now you got me.
Now, it's somebody prominent in ufology who's now deceased. And I mean, when I say prominent, I mean he was, superstar. Oh, well, I won't tease you anymore. I've forgotten his flaming name.
Yeah, it seems to ring a bell, actually, now you bring it up.
Bill Cooper.
Oh, God. No.
William Bill Cooper.
No, he's a conspiracist.
Yeah, he's a conspiracist.
Oh, no. Bert Hopkins has come to me.
Bert Hopkins.
Right.
Bud
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Bud Hopkins.
Yeah.
The alien abduction guy.
Alien abduction guy, yeah.
She was married to him.
And he didn't love it. She was married to him.
Unbelievable.
Bud Hopkins done a lot of really, really good work with abductions. Although he wasn't actually a psychologist, he was an artist, but he took he was a course in psychology and hypnotism as well.
Yeah.
Regression, and he regressed a lot of patients, but he got sucked in with a Linda Cortiel case.
Yeah, we've covered that in the past.
He's going to bear that wound now. Linda Cortiel was a pseudonym. She's actually Linda Napolitano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a mention that he may have been having wasn't it his other wife at the time? It wasn't Leslie, was it? He had another wife. I can't remember what her name was.
Oh, jeez, yeah, I can't remember her name.
And she started going on YouTube outing him, saying stuff that wasn't right. What was going on? Can't remember it all now. We have to go back to our old live shows we did and re-listen.
Jeez. Man, I shouldn't get up early. It's not good for me.
I've wondered why you're up so early. What you need is a big strong coffee or something, but you don't drink coffee, do you?
No, I'm waiting for a doctor's appointment. It's a voice one.
Ah, right. Oh, is he phoning up today, is he?
Yeah, okay, mate. That's come to me now. It took a little while. Her name was Carol Ramey. That's the one that outed him. Yeah, she outed him. Wait for it. She outed him while the guy was dying of cancer.
Oh, right.
That was a little bit. Yeah. He was in hospital, died terminal cancer. There she was making video after video of how unscientific Bird was and how unscientific the abduction
and also a hint
community
that
was.
maybe he was having an affair with the other girl, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she was hoodwinking him because he was in love with her or whatever. So whereabouts did Leslie Kean come? She must have been before this other woman then in that case, right?
I believe so.
Because I don't think Leslie Kean would marry him if he was sick in hospital with cancer, so it must be before.
But from the research I've done and from what I've been told by people who've been in this game, longer than me, that the Cartier case was definitely a hoax.
Was it with the one going through the window?
It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't just contrived by Linda. It was also her Italian husband as well, who was kind of a bit of a mafia boss. Because Linda didn't. Well, the book came out, so she made money from the book. Carol Amy said, although Bird said she won't be making any money from the book, that Carol knew full well that the money was going to be split between them.
And yet there was witnesses on the ground that saw it happen.
Wait there, Paul, wait there just a sec. They were also hoping for a film. So that would be big money for both of them,
Yeah. So the two people on the ground couldn't get verified. Something about security guards seeing it happen, right? And some diplomat.
Well, when it came down to it, the only witness ever was Linda Cartier. That was the only witness ever.
Yeah.
What she was doing, she was writing letters, apparently, from other witnesses. And Bird was receiving these letters and thinking, whoa, that's another witness. And then all of a sudden there was 10 of these letters.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of them. No, you never met one of them in person.
No.
Who the hell was writing the letters? Well, they had a handwriting expert.
Yeah.
Look at them. And guess who it was? Linda Cartier.
Yeah. I remember that. We were talking about that years ago, I think.
I think we did cover that once,
Yeah.
But,
that's a shame because that case I wanted to be real. I wanted that one to be real because it's the only one where people saw levitation going to a flying saucer.
Yeah, I mean, don't we all? Yeah, the people on the bridge, the cars all stalled because the UFO was outside the block of flats, and they all seen it, but nobody could get any one of them on record to say it. You know, so if you can't get them on record to say it, it didn't happen. It's simple as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the letters from these supposed people were either typed or in Linda's handwriting. Oh dear.
Yeah. I remember that. Damn. And now we got Angela, whatever her name is, the one claiming to be in a tunnel in New Mexico, wasn't it, as well? Was that New Mexico or Arizona?
God. You want to talk about that for a bit?
You can if you want.
Who's that CIA guy now? Can't remember his name. Yes, I can. John Ramirez.
Yeah, that's
CIA.
Right.
Yeah. Now he's saying
third phase of moon clown.
No, you're mixing up DeZozo, I think.
DeZozo?
Yeah. Is that his name?
This is John. Yeah, John Ramirez. He actually appeared on the Black Vault John Greenwald show, and he put up pretty good performance there. But now he's saying some really weird stuff. He says the Anjali case is real.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that.
He knows that.
Uh-huh.
He's saying the Bledsoe stuff is real. Why? Because in both cases, the government have taken a big interest. He said, Anjali is exactly who she says she is. She did work for the CIA or DOD. Can't remember now, but it was in intelligence.
Yeah.
And she did actually meet aliens in an underground cavern, blah, blah, blah. I thought, I can't believe this. And then it got worse.
No. I couldn't either.
Yeah, God's sakes. I mean, he said disclosure is months away, not years. Something massive is happening. How many times have we heard that?
Yeah.
How many times have we heard
Disinfo.
that? Yeah, well,
apparently there was no cave. Some people went and investigated it, and they talked to is it a rancher or someone that owns the property, and he said there's no tunnel there. But people just say it's cover up, right? They just say, they're trying to cover up a real event, real story, and they'll keep on believing that person, regardless of how much you out these people. You can't get rid of them. They keep coming back. If people stop watching them and listening to them, they would go away, because there would be no disinformation to keep telling, and there's no money in it, so they'd simply go away. But yeah, Gab's thinking of John D'Souza. D'Souza. All right, you're thinking of the ex-FBI guy. Which what kind of FBI guy would work with the biggest frauds in ufology in the first place? Puts doubts on him being a credible FBI agent.
The one who wants to get more sales on his book on Amazon. That's the one.
And his TV and media channel and all that sort of business that he's forming. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about money and telling stories. Oh, there's an alien. He's the one pushing the alien invasion coming, right? It's the sort of thing we've heard for years now, right? False alien invasion with blue beam. How many years ago? That would go back to that Bill Cooper guy.
Blue beams from the 80s and the 90s when that first came out on bulletin board systems. I remember downloading the blue beam.
Yeah, but it was all about fake alien invasion coming, right? We've heard it for
late
so
80s,
many years.
Early 90s. I remember looking at that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a hot morning this morning for UFOs. There's orange orb. I walked outside at 5 o'clock in the morning, just to have a look at the stars for a quick look around, and there was this big orange orb right on top of right at the top. Right, if you look straight up. I ran inside, grabbed the P1000, and I didn't have time to get the tripod. I just handheld recorded it. It was that close that the P1000 would pick it up. So the video is shaky, but it's got a couple frames that I can look at to analyze the orb.
You definitely need a permanent outside
about every
camera.
8 minutes, another orb would fly past. So I grabbed the infrared and I filmed them. I was filming one that was a lot further away, but it was flashing. It was flashing, and it went all the way to the horizon. And where it took off at the end of the horizon, another one at the bottom of the horizon flew past, a bigger one. So I followed that, and as soon as I flashed my laser pointer at it, it turned the light off. It didn't want to be known that it was flying. It turned the light off.
But why wouldn't it do that in the first place, though, if that was the case?
I don't know. It's not the first time it's happened. I've seen these balls of light in the sky, and I put the laser pointer on top of my. If I can't line it up with my eyes, I just put the laser pointer on top of the infrared camera, and I turn the whole mount until the laser pointer is there. Then I stick my head into the eyepiece, and then I can film it. I use it to line the camera up. And many times I've gone to line it up, and it's this big bright ball of light in the sky. As soon as I point the camera at it, it turns off. Right in front of me.
This big ball of orb or plasma or whatever it is, does it stay stationary? Or was it always moving?
I've gotten stationary ones, but they sit they just sit there, flashing huge flashes of white light. I estimate it to be about 1,000 kilometers, 1,500 kilometers away. It's at least minimum 1,000 kilometers away.
What time of night was this? You said the morning.
The one that's stationary.
Yeah.
The one that's stationary. I've seen it 5-6 times. Sometimes it'll flash 5-6 times, and by the time I point my camera at it, it stops flashing. On three nights, almost consecutive nights, I filmed it once for 20 minutes, just sitting in one spot flashing. It flashes so big and bright that if I'm looking in the opposite direction, you see the flash in the back of your peripheral. That's how I noticed it.
Right.
Oh, we lost someone.
He might have got the doctor's phone call.
Yeah, and I filmed it for 20 minutes. Then the next night, I filmed it for over an hour. So you can, I don't even have to touch the infrared camera. It just sits there for an hour, and you can see the stars moving past.
Yeah, it's just a wee bit.
You can see the stars moving past, and this thing just sits there, and every 2-3 minutes, it flashes this gigantic ball of white light, and just doesn't move for like an hour. And then the next night, this was like late at the night, and then the next one, I filmed it in the morning as the sun was coming up for about
that's
half an hour
normally
or something.
the period that people hate, because that's when you get the horizon sun aimed at Starlink satellites and stuff like that iridium satellites that reflect back, right? And it looks like an orange.
But the satellites don't sit still for an hour in one spot.
No. But could it be something that's coming towards you? And it looks like it's still, and it's actually moving towards you?
No, I can tell when they're coming towards me. Because I've sat there for an hour, unless it's moving at like 2 centimeters a second.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, look, get it all recorded.
Did you hear the white flash? If I'm looking, if it's in the north and I'm looking south, I can see the white flash in the back of my peripheral vision. That's how bright that white flash is.
Yeah, I think you need to get another camera set up. Really, you really do.
I've someone else filmed this with Gen 3 night vision camera, but for about 10 minutes. I saw a video last year or something, or it might be 6 months ago, and it's a MUFON case too, and in their video, it's flashing every 5-10 seconds. In my one, it's flashing every 2-3 minutes.
Hey Rob, where did you disappear to? Did you get a phone call? Has he dropped off again?
No. Sorry, that was my fault.
But it looks exactly the same. Looks
like we're alternating properly now. I could never get that working. Now you dropped off and joined again. It's working, switching between you as you talk.
Yeah. All I done was refresh the page, but I meant to refresh a different page. Never mind.
You sound clearer too
all
now.
All I can see now is myself on the left, Gabber in the middle, and the Vallee stuff on the right.
Yeah, but if you watch my YouTube, you're the loudest talker is in the corner now.
Okay. Oh God.
Yeah.
Apologies for that.
No, that's all right. I can switch between both of you talking. Yeah. So Gabber changed the course of the topic about orange orbs again. Yeah. Basically, we need to crowdfund a new camera for Gabber, so he's got a permanent outside one like I have, because at least you're going to get something off that, I think. And I think you need more than one camera.
The orbs that are close to me, I reckon that camera would pick them up. The ones that are about medium distance or further away, I don't think it's going to notice them unless it's flashing a really bright light. It would pick up that light flash.
Yeah, I think it depends on your settings as well. If you set it on long exposure and all that sort of stuff, it will get those faint lights. If you set it
on long exposure, then you get overexposure and you'll never see any details. Though you'll see something flashing, but there'll be no detail. It'll be the frame rate. Well, the frame rate drops on the camera to compensate for overexposure. For that Sony Starlight feature.
But you never know. They might be getting them in day and missing them, right? Because you're not out there looking non-stop, right?
The orbs I've been getting in the last week or two, most of them, when I go through the video and pause all the frames and then find a frame where I can sort of see something inside the light, I grab it and run the filters like you show me. They're all coming, when I look inside the light, they're all octagon shapes.
Okay, let me just bring
coming
out
out octagon shapes.
Let's just show people what you posted tonight. There is some motion blur, and that might be because you moved as it was moving as well. Where's your page gone? Have I gone down too far? No, there we go. Let me just drag it over. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can bring it over.
Throw some new images that I've been looking at in there.
Why is it not letting me drag it? Something's gone strange with it here. Here we go. Finally got it. So these are the stills from the video that you took with the P1000.
It's the P1000.
Now,
it's out of focus.
Yeah, it's out of focus and it's got motion blur. It's slightly out of focus. I wouldn't say it was totally out of focus. But yeah, when you get out of focus, you get that ringing pattern, right? But to here, it actually looks like 5 spokes in a wheel, though, doesn't it? It kind of looks like it's, well, maybe 4, maybe 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you can't do anything with that, you know.
No,
you can't.
No.
It's like zooming in on a planet or a star. It's just, and the P1000, unfortunately, I've got one, so I'm talking from experience now.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not very good. The autofocus is absolutely bollocks. It's rubbish.
Yeah, the autofocus is garbage. You really need to use the manual. But if you're zoomed in, as soon as you touch that manual focus ring, it's just bouncing. The lens is just bouncing. It's like almost impossible to even to focus it in, because you need a still image to focus on, and it's bouncing. You're like, you gotta focus a bouncing image and get it like average as close as you can get, and then like let go of it.
I know, mate. I know.
Yeah, Rob's actually got the same camera as you.
Let's see if I can look something up here.
You can see here, though, this one's, you need a reference point too, and you can see either you or both things are moving at the same time. It's hard to know without a reference point. This is why you need 1 or 2 other cameras permanently set up on.
Yeah, see, I'm holding the camera.
Tripods.
I'm holding the camera in my hand, so it's just bouncing, and then I hit the zoom, and when you hit the zoom, it bounces as well. Like even a slight bit of wind makes, and if it's on a tripod, it'll bounce. It's just like you can't touch it.
Yeah, I understand.
You scroll down a bit. I added a couple extra photos just then.
Well, that's what I said here, and I thought maybe you're going to shout at me. Looks more brown than orange. Seeing some motion blur, slide out of focus. So no ping photo of it, only video. And you said you ran out and just started filming it. So obviously there's no photo snap of it with higher pixels. Or does the video get higher pixels on the photo on P1000? I don't know.
What do you mean no reference point like the moon?
Yeah, so you can see what's moving with its you. So the moon would be motion blurred as well, right? Or tree, maybe even a tree.
Yeah, but there's no moon. The moon has gone down for the night. The moon's gone. There's no reference point. With the P1000, you can't even see the stars unless you zoom in halfway. Then it starts to see only bright stars.
Yeah. So you said depends what setting I had the camera on. Maybe
I thought it might have had blue filter on. I thought I might have had the blue filter on because I was doing blue filter moon work the night before. But I checked. I went and turned the camera on, and it wasn't on the blue filter. It's just like it's a bad night camera. The ISO rating is really bad, so maybe it doesn't pick up the colors well at nighttime. I don't know. It looked orange to me, and then I look at the video and it's like white. I'm like, why is? But it could be the angle, because when I was taking photos of the moon, if I aimed the camera at the bottom of the moon was almost blood red. But if I aimed the camera at the top of the moon was white. So it just might be like the angle,
all you can say is
light reflection.
There's an orange light source of some kind that's out of focus and motion blur. That's all you can really say about it, really. Whether it's plasma or these I couldn't think of the name last time. Min lights, was it? The Aborigines used to call, like the Martha lights that would appear. Yeah. Now, there was a lot of debate whether that was something natural or car headlights and Fata Morgana in Texas. Well, it's possible that you get that on mountain ranges too, where you're getting a light source being projected up into the sky in ice crystals. So, yeah, it is a mystery. Doesn't mean it's not aliens and stuff, but this stuff...
But how would a light source come all the way from the horizon of like north and then come up above me, right above me, and then head off down all the way to the east, north now, and go all the way to the south, and go all the way to the horizon, and then like come down. And I've filmed them when they're coming from the horizon. They are traveling upwards. Because I'm at the top of the highest mountain. It's like these orbs. These orbs know that there's a mountain in the way, so it goes up in altitude. And then when it gets to the top of the mountain, like right above me, this is the peak top of the mountain, they level out and they fly straight, because the orb knows, I've cleared the top of the mountain because I've gone up in height. They fly straight and level. And once they've cleared the top of the mountain, the next third of the sky, they start coming down in altitude. It's like, I've gone over the mountain, now I can come down closer to the ground.
Yeah, but if you understand how plasma bulbs work, they also bounce around on magnetic fields, right? And
how would the plasma ball is intelligent enough to know there's a mountain in the way?
Well, it's getting electromagnetic field from the mountain that it's sort of riding like a wave, right? This one here, when I looked at it, I thought it was like a bus.
Then how come no scientists have taken a photo or a video of this so-called plasma balls that come out from inside the bottom of a mountain? I
don't think anyone
has. I'm filming them every 5 to 8 minutes. They're flying past me. If it's that common that they can fly past my house every 5 to 8 minutes, surely over the last 30 years, a scientist would have taken a picture to go, check out, this is my little essay on plasma balls coming out of mountains. Nobody has a photo. No scientist has a video. All they say is we think the plasma balls come out from the mountains. I find it hard to believe.
Unfortunately, these aren't good enough for anybody, really. Rob has
can't do anything with them, nothing at all with them. They could be any bright light that's out of focus and zoomed in. The thing is, you've got earth lights, you've got ball lightning, you've got plasma, and nobody understands any of them.
No, it's early science.
Once you've got, let me finish. Once you've got reasonable evidence that something's in intelligent control, then you can rule all of them out.
What about the UFO I filmed? There's more. Another one, 5 or 6 of them this morning with the infrared camera. I point the laser pointer at it. It turns the light off. Is that intelligent control? It doesn't want to be known. It's flying around.
Well, you don't know. It could have been flickering. It could have been the camera going out of focus.
The infrared camera. All the stars are in focus. You can see the stars in focus.
Infrared, I don't trust that. That can bring out all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know, mate.
They're logging Skinwalker
it's not the first time I've pointed my laser pointer at a ball of light in the sky, and it turns the light off right in front of me. I'm like, what?
Your video's off, by the way,
turns the light off.
You've turned your video off.
You do realise that nobody catches UFO 6-7 times a day. I mean, that's just not realistic.
Yeah,
not to me.
And it comes out suspicious too, doesn't it? Yeah, it's suspicious as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think Gabber can prove it though, and he just needs to get more cameras that are recording different angles and stuff, right?
Yeah,
but I think it might be something natural.
See, there's a hot over here. There's a hot time. There's a hot time for orbs in the sky. It's about 3, 4, 5 a.m. is the hot time. I can go out at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and stand there for like an hour or two and not even see a satellite. I don't see a single thing. But if I go out at like 3, 4, 5 a.m., they're like zooming all over the place.
Yeah, you really need another investigator. You need another investigator that's skeptical to go up to your place and actually watch these things and film them with you. That would be actually good, wouldn't it?
No one's going to come here to film stuff with me.
We don't even know where you live. We know you're on a mountain. But yeah, I think you can prove it though.
Where stuff can happen. No question of that.
I just know it's like it's just some mornings I don't even see nothing. I can go out for like 45 minutes, an hour, and not see nothing at 3 or 4, 5 a.m. And then some mornings they shoot past. Like sometimes I'll see 5 or 6 shooting past every 1 or 2 minutes. Then sometimes every 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. There's one flying here, one flying there, and they're all going in different directions towards which the satellites go. Like the one with the P1000, I checked the satellite app. There was nothing on the satellite app going in its direction.
Right.
I thought it might have been the ISS or something, but I checked. It wasn't the ISS because it was like, yeah. I've seen the ISS. The ISS looks a bit bigger. It looks a bit bigger than what I saw.
What you're seeing sounds very much like the Aborigine Min lights do, and that goes back thousands of years, doesn't it? So. And because it's that certain time in the morning hotspot, could mean it's related to environmental temperature or electric charge of the mountains building up and all that sort of stuff, right? Or even radiation from the rocks itself.
What you're saying is the rocks at the bottom of the ravine. I'm at the top of a mountain. If I walk 15 minutes towards the mountain, the edge of the mountain, it's a huge drop. It takes you an hour just to walk down, and that's the bottom of the ravine where the creek is and all the rocks rubbing together. And you're saying the rocks rub together, making plasma balls that shoot up. Okay, I can understand that. I've seen no pictures or videos of this, but if that was so, then if I saw a plasma ball, this nature plasma, whatever you're calling, from a rock, it would be coming out of the ground, coming up the ravine, and then coming over. I'm not seeing them. I have not seen them come up from the ground or up from the bottom of the ravine. These are coming from they're coming from the sky high up. Some of them are like 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers. Even like I've filmed stuff 1,000 kilometers away.
Yeah, but you got mountains that go that distance,
know if this so-called plasma ball that comes from the mountain rock, could that even travel 1,000 kilometers up into space?
Well, I think it doesn't come from
away.
the rock. I don't think it comes from the rock. It comes from combination of dust and electromagnetism field and all that sort of stuff, and it causes a cold fusion where the plasma just forms out of thin air. And then
but no one knows what the plasma looks like. No one knows how it flies or what it.
And as we read on that scientific page, they last from 30 seconds all the way up to 1 hour. So yeah, and they just sort of bounce around on the electromagnetic air currents, right? And the wind currents.
That means if it's doing that, it would be all over the place. It would not follow a straight flight pattern. It would not do these I think you're making assumptions there, though. You're saying the ball bounces around on electromagnetic stuff. How could it follow a smooth arc all the way across the sky?
Well, that's why it's
total opposite. That's the total opposite of what you're saying.
No, but it could. Why can't it get attracted by something?
Have you got video? Have you got video of the flight path?
Yeah.
Of these things.
I can show you the ones this morning if you want to have a look.
Yeah, that's what we need to see.
All right. I have to share the screen.
We got Yorkshire UFO Hunter joining us on the side chat. Says, I caught the pulsating craft 3 times now with night vision and a plasma orb that split into 2, so it's out there stealth tech on it. It still could be natural.
That's interesting,
see.
Yorkshire. I filmed a tic tac shaped ball of light on my YouTube channel. As it gets further and further away, it splits into two balls of light and goes away. I filmed the same thing too. I saw Bruce Sees All. He also filmed that with his infrared camera, and I witnessed it one night as the sun was coming down. I was setting up my camera for Mars. I was gonna film Mars with my camera for Mars Succession, where Mars is really close to Earth. Mars Succession event. I'm setting up my camera, and I looked up, and I noticed a bright star up in the sky above my house, and the sun's coming down, so it's like 30% light or something. And I'm like, hang on a second, is that a constellation you know from? Because there's still light in the sky, so only the bright stars are out. There's only like 8 stars out or something. I looked up, and I was like, that star is in the wrong place. I'm like, quickly, put your camera together. And as I'm trying to put it together, this ball of light just went smaller, split into 2 balls of light, and then just took off somewhere. And I was like, you couldn't wait for me to set up the camera.
Well, the airplanes fly overhead here, and they're gone in 13 seconds. So they're like 1,000 feet up or whatever. So yeah, they're quite
can I just ask a question here, please?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah,
carry
on. So Yorkshire UFO Hunter. Hi, I'm from UK anyway. But how do you know it's a plasma orb? How do you know it's stealth tech?
Correct.
It never ceases to amaze me how people make these assumptions. I haven't got a clue. What you're looking at basically is lights in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody can tell you. I don't care how good you are. Even if you're a damn physicist, there's no way you can tell what they are. Stealth tech? That's really...
No, but you can make a list of possibilities. Maybe he's talking about a possibility here that it could be plasma or cloaked craft or whatever, but that's all right. But things splitting in half, a lot of the videos I've seen in the past have always ended up being balloons tied together that's finally split, right? And that can be any colour, depending on how the sun lights them up, and especially early in the morning ones and evening ones.
Maybe more detail, Yorkshire man, on, you take it at night, you take it in the day. Tic Tac UFO splits into 2 balls of light.
Yeah, I just put that link there for Yorkshire because it's similar to what he reported seeing.
Yeah, but what the hell's a Tic Tac UAP? Nobody ever used Tic Tac until...
it was just
another man's cigar.
I filmed 2 balls of light that are Tic Tac shaped. I don't know what it is. I just put it. It's what it is. It's Tic Tac shaped. Hello.
Did they look like that to the naked eye?
Did you post the link? Because you probably need to post it again.
I only see it with my naked eye for a couple seconds, and I line the camera up, and then I'm like inside the infrared camera, and then sometimes I take my head out, and I look at the ball to try and get shape, color, size, distance, how high it is, how far away it is from me, and then I go back into the infrared camera. Did it look Tic Tac shape? I got to remember now. This was a year ago. A year and a half ago, I think. It sort of looked Tic Tac shape to the eye. if I remember correctly.
Well, that there looks like a Klingon warbird if you were using pareidolia inside the orb there. So you posted something here, have you? That's the end of it. That's all we got. So the already aircraft fly over the house. It just looks like Star Trek Enterprise flying over the house right in night vision. So
yeah, but I mean, there's no video. It's the video we need. See if there's any.
I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen with the video on.
Hang on, I'll just minimize that game. You can share your screen.
Let's see if this crashes.
Sorry, guys, we'll get back to the Trinity thing at the end.
All right, this is this morning. I've got these four here.
Yeah, we've got no reference point at the moment.
Here, this is the flashing one. You can barely see it until it flashes. You can see my mouse?
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the screen. You can only see it when it flashes.
And this is on infrared, right?
This is on the infrared here. I zoom in on it here. See it be clearer when I zoom it in.
So why couldn't that be a bat or bird?
Birds.
Yeah.
Do birds flash bright? Do birds flash bright white light?
Infrared. That would be translating their body heat into white.
I see this flashing white light. That's why I pointed my camera at it, because it's flashing at me. I can see this big bright light.
Oh, you can see it in natural light, you mean? Right. This is why we need another camera.
Look, I do not look around with my camera to look for stuff, because my camera has a 50mm lens.
Right,
it's zoomed in, so I'm looking at like a toothpick in a haystack. I cannot see the sky. My camera's zoomed in automatically, standard view.
Right.
So I just sit there and I see.
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah. Something has to be flashing.
We understand
that's
now.
Flashing.
Okay, you saw this one with your eyes, and you got the camera out and started filming.
I always see them with my eyes. I just hit it with a laser beam a bit. It flashes. It goes down.
How many milliwatts was that one again? That laser?
That's 100. That's 100 megawatt. So where this one comes.
Yeah.
100 milliwatt. So this one came down to here, and the horizon's just on the bottom here. The houses and the trees. Neighbor's house. This is south. It came from the north. And was heading south. So
can you play around with the filters on VLC there and see if we can actually see the edge of the houses or roof or whatever? Maybe brighten it or invert it or something. I think I can see something there, but everybody's monitor's different. You know, it depends what brightness you got it set to. I see things on mine which I play back on the other monitor, and I can't see it on the other monitor as good as I did.
This one that was flashing just came down here, and where this came down, then this one here, bigger and brighter, so it's closer to me. Was just heading across here. My camera's facing south, and the top of the neighbor's house is just under here. It's just like not far from here. So I'm basically looking at the horizon south there.
Right.
And delete all that. And this one was just traveling straight that way to the west. So I'm looking south. That's going west, and it's come from the east.
Yeah.
It's heading west.
You can see what Rob's saying. Like, did it stop and then go vertically up very fast, or go downwards very fast and then come back up again? Because that would eliminate satellites, right, straight away. And it would eliminate planes as well, because planes don't travel like that. But when you got things moving in straight lines, it sounds like flight paths and orbits and all that sort of stuff. And you can see what we're talking about. If you want to get better evidence, we need something that's not following natural man-made paths, right? And
how can that be an aeroplane when there's no FAA warning lights and no engine sound?
Yeah. I see what you mean, but couldn't it be someone also flying a drone at their backyard in the mountain somewhere?
Who's flying drones at 5 o'clock in the morning? There's nobody out
Well,
here.
who's filming UFOs at 4 in the morning? You see what
Nobody.
I mean?
I'm the only person out here. So this one's flying. It goes across. It goes across to about here, and I hit it with the laser beam here. You can still see it flying here. There it is there.
Yeah.
I hit it with the laser beam, and just after I've hit it with the laser beam, there, it starts turning its lights off. See? It's over here now.
Did it turn off the lights, or did it?
It turned the light off. Now it's gone.
Yeah, I don't know what it
Pause
is.
this. It's over here. It just turned the lights off. There it is there. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. It's like turned the light off.
I just want to... Could it be could it not be a Chinese lightning moving with the air current?
I got no idea what it is. I just filmed this morning.
Yeah.
I just laughed. I laughed when I pointed the laser pointer at it. I'll just show you again.
Because Chinese lanterns are often white-orange, you see, and
this was white. This one was white.
They do blink.
This wasn't orange. This wasn't blinking.
Yeah, no, we got
straight white.
We got LED
eyes.
balloons now, which complicates things even more for us.
I live in the middle of nowhere. There's no people here.
Yeah, but these
isolated.
damn balloons can be lit up for days, and they can travel hundreds of miles.
The forest where the cliff tops are is like isolated. There's not even fire trails to go in there. You can't even get a fire trail. The firemen, if there's a fire, it burns the town. It's almost invisible here. It's turned the light off. I can only just barely see it because of the infrared.
Is Robert still there, or has he just gone quiet? Are you there, Robert? Or have you dropped off again? Or was he on a phone call? Is Robert on your screen?
I don't see him. I think he's dropped out.
I think he's dropped off. Has he posted something? Hey, Blue Chicken's joined us. It's a dot. Yeah, draw a red circle around it. Where's the red circle? I shot it with laser, then changed direction, started coming back. Yeah, but bats, as you know, if it's like a IR lead, they can see IR lasers and they will change direction when you aim a laser at it.
Blue chicken loves dots. Yeah, I shot my laser pointer at this one and it turned off. Blue chicken, look at this. You can see it here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. It's just here to the left of the laser, and like as soon as I hit it with the laser, about 10 seconds later, it just turns the light off.
Yeah.
It gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and then...
Which sounds like a candle gradually losing energy, right?
What, at the exact time that I just pointed the laser pointer at it, the candle decided to just turn off?
Well, it's possible, isn't it? You can't rule it out. Coincidences? Yeah, but we wanted to see what Robert had to say about it. So you couldn't actually pick this one up on your P1000, right? Even though you saw it with your eyes, the P1000 can't see it.
I can't operate two cameras at the same time. I don't know if that would pick up. I think that would be too far. That one was like medium.
You need a girlfriend living with you. Say, grab that camera and aim it at the sky.
No, they'll spend all my money. Forget about that. That's about medium distance away. Because I get orbs that are like 3 or 4 times, 5 times bigger than that are really, really close to me. So that's like medium distance away from me. And if that was a Chinese lantern, we would see the flame flickering. I filmed the candle one night at the end of my backyard all night long with the infrared camera, and you can see the flame flickering in the
yeah, but that's a fair distance away there, though. KSP Crafter.
How can you tell me that's a Chinese lantern? Are you serious? Let's zoom in. You reckon that's a Chinese lantern?
Well, it's a pointed light, isn't it? And you can see the atmospherics there, right?
So where is the Chinese lantern? The shape of the lantern, where is it? I don't see it.
They do have
frame by frame.
They do have football shaped ones. They do have football shaped ones. Maybe I was doing research on.
Let's have a look.
That Puerto Rico one, which was 2 heart-shaped lanterns, and we actually come across a soccer ball one. That's white and black, and it lights up just like that.
How on earth is that a Chinese lantern? Because we've got this ball of light here, and then we've got this ball of light that's spinning around it in like a anti-clockwise direction.
I think that's just atmospheric. So
Chinese lanterns are like this, with like a flame.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Different shapes.
You can get soccer ball ones too. Believe it or not.
So there's someone out here at 4 o'clock in the morning throwing soccer ball Chinese lanterns every 10 minutes. Is that what you're saying?
They might have a soccer ball one that was in the air that night. I don't know.
Oh, maybe this, maybe that. All right, tell me this. Let's go back. Let's unzoom it. Unzoom it.
But we haven't ruled out it possibly being some person flying a drone early in the morning where you don't get that big wind gusts. I suppose it's really
look at it flying. Look at it flying. A Chinese lantern would not fly like that. Look at it. It's flying in a straight line. Look at it. Look, even zoomed in. It's flying in a straight line. A Chinese lantern would go here and there. A Chinese lantern would be doing this. Look. A Chinese lantern would be going in the wind and here and there. That's a Chinese lantern. Look at this. It does not move like a Chinese lantern. Look, perfect straight line. Look at it. Look at it. I'm sorry I debunked your Chinese lantern theory. You got any more? It's just not, hasn't got any characteristics of a Chinese lantern. It hasn't got a shape of something in a Chinese lantern. It hasn't got the flame flickering, and it's not like drifting in the wind and stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't rule out a drone.
But drones can only fly for 15 minutes, and they have a short range.
It's a shame we don't know the sizes of them, though. That's the problem.
The only drone this could be like a military drone possibility, some sort of a military drone that's got like 1,000-kilometer range, 500-kilometer range, whatever they do. It could be some new experimental military drone that they're flying around and testing, doing military testing.
Blue Chicken reckons it could be a geese.
A duck.
A duck.
It's a duck.
Geese.
It's a duck. It's a duck with a cattail with flashing LED lights.
We've ruled out it being a bird. This is infrared. I said, couldn't it be a bat or something? But he saw it with his own eyes and grabbed the camera. So, that's talking about natural light, and now we've got a camera with infrared light on it.
But what sort of drone would it be if it was military? Where's the engine? Aren't all drones like propeller? Most of them are propeller engines.
See, it is flickering there, just like a flame, right, inside a case of some kind. Let me just minimize that down. Okay, so Chinese lanterns don't always come in tear shapes. They come in other shapes. You got heart balloon. Not heart balloon.
Yeah, but Chinese lanterns drift in the wind. This is flying straight. It's something that's got an engine that's flying it against the wind, so the wind doesn't interfere with it.
We got Mickey Mouse ears, or heart-shaped balloon, which is what the Puerto Rico one was. 2 of those.
Yeah, but you don't understand. Chinese lanterns drift in the wind. They don't fly straight. They don't fly in a perfect straight line. It's got to drift. It's got to drift somehow a little bit.
I've seen in videos that they do travel in straight lines. If it's on a calm
in the
night.
wind, but it's gonna go up a bit. It's gonna go down a bit. It's gonna go a little bit left, a little bit right. It's called wind turbulence.
Not necessarily.
There's no way that's a Chinese lantern.
If it's at the end of its life, it's getting cooler, so it's going to come down on a straight line towards the ground, right? But you also got sockable ones.
This turns the light off when I point the laser pointer at it, and it continues. You can see it. You can still see the craft, tiny little dot, and the infrared camera. Might be hard because I'm streaming it over this stream. You can barely see it, but it still continues. If that was a Chinese lantern, it would have went downwards. It would have went down.
Here's a round one for you. Here's a round one for you. Believe it or not, they do soccer ball ones and basketball ones. Chinese are really clever. There's a spy balloon. See that? What color would that show up though? It looks like a pretty solid white paper mesh there. It probably would glow orange and white, right? Just like what you're capturing. Maybe you got some football nut living, from UK living next door to you. Every time his team wins, he throws up one of these balls into the sky. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just putting it out there. People are just not, like these. I'm not sure. There might be some other shapes they have too. Rugby balls, maybe. It's hard to know. They've got it all mixed up here.
Splinter and Shuckle. Thanks for the follow, mate. Yeah, but you're saying it's a Chinese lantern that I filmed.
See all these ones here, Chinese.
Yeah, play to earn games, mate. Look at the soccer
do a
ball.
Lot of stuff.
Look at the soccer ball on my infrared camera. That would be a light, big circle light. This flame flickering. We would see the flame flickering, and then we would have another outside light around that shining from the light of this thing. That's how that would look on the infrared camera. The infrared camera is so sensitive, it sees the flame and it's flickering when it flickers
that's what
in the
we
wind.
saw on your video, though.
There was no flame flickering.
Yeah, there was. At one point, you could see it flickering.
Ooh,
and it looked like it was coming down on a gentle slope, But anyway, I'm just telling you, there's possibilities. You always got to take into account.
Here's some still images of it. Let's
see. It's even brighter at the bottom, right, where you expect the flame to be, right, and then it gets dimmer as it goes higher.
I play Nicoverse on Solana blockchain, and I've been playing Gala games on the Gala coin blockchain Splinter. I've been playing the Mayhem event. So look,
the speed of it. Some of the air currents above mountain ranges, if it gets into a slipstream, can push it along quite fast, right?
There's no.
See, that looks like a smiley face here. Now. It looks like something from Forrest Gump. Look, smiling. It's got two eyes.
India, beautiful. I love India. I love curry. I love Indian curry. Korma curries.
Blue chicken. You have bad eyesight. Chicken.
So look, he's a
what are you saying there, Blue Chicken? What was he got bad eyesight with? The Chinese lanterns, or what are you saying there? Did I miss something?
This is Townstar that I'm playing at the moment. I also have another game. That's an auto. The other game. I was just showing some friends. I'm on another. I'm doing a double stream. So like, if we run the filters on this, where's the flame? Where's this? If there was a flame,
you're not going to see it on that low.
Townstar is on
that distance. You're just going to see
Gala games. You would see the flame in here.
Not that distance.
You would see the flame, and the flame would be flickering. The flame, because that flame, it's infrared camera. It picks up heat. That
this
flame
whole
is so
thing
hot,
would be flickering upwards like this.
It would pick up the flame, and then this, because it's a less temperature. This less temperature, say the soccer ball. This would be a different color, and then we'd have this ball, which is another ball. The light shining from the soccer ball.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is not making any sense to me at all.
Well, to me, you're not making any sense either.
Because you're trying really hard to be right when.
No, I'm not. I could see it was flickering in the video, and I'm saying,
no flame.
you ain't going to see a flame, is what I'm saying. But you're going to see the light pulse, and
you're not listening to what I was saying. I filmed flames. I filmed a candle. You can see.
not
you
from
can
that
see the
distance
flame.
away. It's not like you set up a balloon and just filmed it as drifting away slowly. And
It's an infrared camera. It picks up heat. It would pick up the difference in temperature of the heat, because the heat of the flame would be enormous in here, and then the light over here. Hell yeah! Let's have some fun with the bot. Yeah.
No.
This light would be a different color because it's an infrared camera. It picks up heat. You're not looking at the technology and how it records light and heat. You're just going, it looks like a soccer ball because it's a ball of light.
Well,
that's all you're saying.
This is where you got to prove to me, with an example, with your camera setup, what you're saying. All right, so then I
don't
might
have to
believe
prove anything to anybody. You cannot prove to me that there's a flame in there. You would see the flame on infrared.
I'm saying you're wrong. Anyway, the ball's in your court to show us an example of that same distance.
You're not showing any evidence to prove me wrong, though. You're just saying, like, they're flying like this. In the wind, it would fly like this.
No.
A lantern, it's not going to fly straight.
Yeah, well, if it's not a vicious air current and it's just drifting along in a slipstream, it's going to fly in a straight line.
I think you just got a Chinese lantern fixation, personally.
No, I haven't said Chinese lantern before, though, have I? I said LED balloons, but that's
you will sit there for an hour going Chinese lantern without showing any evidence.
Well, that to me looks like it's illuminated from the bottom. So when you got it down to there, it's illuminated
from the bottom.
There it is. There's your light source there.
For it to be a lantern, it would have to have a flame here.
Until you got bottom. 1,000 times zoom that can actually identify the light source. I think we're not gonna agree here.
Face with tears of joy. It just doesn't make logical sense to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, well, obviously a lot of people don't understand it, and that's the problem. You just have to go and look at all examples of Chinese lanterns being drifted off from weddings, and you can see they're going in a straight line. They go up originally, but they burn for about... If you can film it for more than 15 minutes, you can rule out Chinese lantern, right?
Nice butt scientist.
How long did you film it for? Not 15 minutes, did you?
Which?
Not
this one?
Yeah, the one we're arguing about, Chinese lantern. If you could film it longer than 15 minutes, we could exclude it being a Chinese lantern. But then we can't exclude it being an LED balloon because they can be lit up for days.
They're gone in 2, 3, 4 minutes. They've gone from one horizon to the next horizon.
Which also sounds like International Space Station, you must admit. Low on the horizon, pass by in less than 5 minutes.
Let's go have a look at the satellite app then.
Anyway, hope
where's the satellite app?
I hope Robert didn't get pissed off and left.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. It's traveling east to west. Now, which way does the International Space Station travel?
West to right.
West,
which is
west to east. West to east. It's traveling in the wrong direction to be the ISS.
Well, it can actually go up across Australia.
Well, it could be the ISS. It can't
be
the ISS. It's traveling in the opposite direction.
Southwest to northwest.
This is traveling east to west. My camera is pointing south, so it's traveling east to west.
South, west to northeast. Well, again, we got no indication there which way you're pointing because there's no compass or anything on the camera, which is a bit unfortunate. I wish they would have
Trust me, I think I listen. I call out the compass direction when I start the video. I say this has come from the north. This has come from the north. This one came from the north, and it was heading south.
Yeah, so but that means that everybody's got to believe what you're saying.
So
right?
This came from the north, and it's heading south.
Right.
And then we get to the end of it where it's at the horizon. So obviously it's pointing directly at the south, and that's when the second one appeared. Here, my camera's pointing south, and we've even got these star constellations here. We can line up these star constellations with south to know exactly where my camera is pointing. So we've got a compass direction just by looking at these star constellations.
Anyway, we've got to move on from this and get back to that document because I've got to go soon. How long have we been going?
This is another one. This one was closer. This one was a lot closer. See how it's bigger?
Yeah, 2.5 hours already.
This one's a lot closer. So how is that a Chinese lantern? Tell me. I'd like to know. That one's really, really close.
I said the other one was. I don't know about this one. That one looks more smooth edged, right?
This one's not a circle, it's hexagon. This one's hexagon shaped. It's not a circle. If you look at the individual frames...
could be a LED balloon, right?
Oh, here we go with the balloons again. He loves the balloons. I've gone to the wrong video. Let me close
the thing is, none of these videos, the thing's not doing crazy maneuvers.
Well, tell them you're the one who gets visitations by grey aliens and tall white aliens.
That was like 3 years ago now.
When they come to visit you, tell them, can you please do some crazy maneuvers when Gabber's filming you in his backyard up in the Southern Highlands here in New South Wales here in Australia? Can you do some crazy maneuvers so we got some nice footage, please? Because you're just flying past his house. You're flying nice and close. You're getting some brilliant camera footage, but you are not doing crazy maneuvers. You got to tell them. They'll listen to you. They know you. They come to your house. You're like, "What? Come in, have a cup of tea." They chill out. They sit on your lounge and stuff and do stuff in your house.
Yeah,
they don't come to my house.
How big would you say that thing was in the sky that you're filming? Because really, if you're going to say it's aliens,
that one was like the size of a tennis ball. So if you look up, you see
exactly
tennis ball. Flying past.
We got ant aliens flying inside tennis balls flying around your house, right? It's
tennis ball size, but
when you film a 50-foot craft above your house,
what you're saying is ridiculous. It looks like a tennis ball, but what if it's 20 kilometers away? What if it's 50 kilometers away? That means it's 30, 50, 60, 80 feet long.
Hang on, but you just said it was close.
Close. This one.
Yeah.
This one was fairly close. This could be like. Let me have a look at it zoomed out.
You said it was a tennis ball size just before. Are we talking about the same video, or are you talking about another one now?
You can see how big it is. Do you see the stars here? You can see the stars. It's like 6 times. It's like 8 times bigger than a star.
So this is like low in the horizon, early in the morning, where we get damn satellites, right? As well, but
this is not a satellite because it's too big. This over here is how big a satellite looks, microwave sized. This over here, that's if I saw that flying past, I would say that's probably a satellite. This is 10 times bigger than that.
Yeah, doesn't rule out.
Times bigger.
It doesn't rule out.
That's impossible. That's impossible for that to be a satellite because it's 10 times bigger than that. That's microwave. That's the size of a microwave. They physically cannot fit a satellite that big in a rocket because that satellite over there, they have to fold it up and squash it into a tiny little box. And when it comes out of the rocket, it has to unfold into a microwave-sized satellite. So for that would not physically fit in a rocket. Would not physically fit. It's too big.
But you can't rule out Chinese spy balloon now. That's a new thing that we know about now, right? And they're quite huge. Now, whether they glow on infrared, I don't know. But if you early in the morning,
so where's the string and where's the balloon?
Well, the thing itself is the balloon, right? But far away.
That's the balloon. So where's the string dangling down and the little sensors?
But you've seen the
stuff,
Chinese ones.
Satellites.
No, it's not that far down. It's right close to the balloon. If you had a look at the photograph.
China doesn't need spy balloons in Australia. They've got Chinese spies on the ground infiltrating all of Australian society. They don't need no spy balloons.
Well, they call them weather balloons, which they might be, but.
If that was a weather balloon, I live on top of a mountain. The weather balloon would be doing this. It wouldn't be flying like this straight. So this weather balloon nonsense.
But there's no big winds early in the morning, right? That's normally the perfect time.
You don't live where I live. I came out yesterday. I came out this morning, and my garbage bin was flown over 10 meters that way. All my metal chairs, which are heavy, are tipped on their side and flown away 5 meters. That's how windy it was the night before.
That's what we get in Canterbury with the northwest winds from Australia. But, look, we're just not going to solve it. And there's just not enough information. This is what we call the low information zone, right?
Look, I got the wind map. Out. See the wind map?
Yeah.
Oh, the wind map just died on me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the browser's dead. I think I just broke my computer. Here's the wind map. So where's Jervis? There's Jervis Bay. So I'm just over here. Look at the wind. Look at the wind I get here. Look at all these currents blowing all around.
Yeah, but look what's over here in the green zone. That's really wind. So you'd have to read the magnitude map of the wind. And the wind's coming from the west, is it?
Look at the wind. Do you see how the wind's flowing?
Yeah. So was it going against the wind? Which way were you filming?
Look how the wind's going.
No, that's not how you read
if
that.
If it was a balloon, it would be coming past me like this. And since that distance there is only 60 kilometers, I can see my infrared camera can see 2,000 kilometers, so it keeps going that way.
This is not 3D wind section, and we're looking down on it, and it's interpreting the biggest wind speeds. So we don't know if that's at ground level or 100 feet or 1,000 feet.
These orbs come in like this and fly past. The wind, I'll change color here. The wind is going like this.
We're not seeing that with that weather map, though.
Look, here's the wind in black. That's the wind.
Yeah,
the wind is going like this. We're looking at the wind map.
I'm not seeing that.
What do you mean not seeing? Are you not seeing the wind pattern?
I'm not seeing the wind go up here and out into this over here.
Oh, it's not showing you the. Why isn't it? There it is. There. See the wind?
But I'm saying that's
a white lines?
2D. We need. This is again why they launch weather balloons, to get the wind direction at different heights, right? Because we know it does change direction, especially around coastal areas where it could be going that way, like west to east, but it's then at a further height it's going back from east to west. If it was
a balloon, when it from here, where is it? Pink. It starts here. It would fly over here. It's got to go left, and then it's directly above me.
Yeah,
it's going to go this way and then fly that way. So when I'm looking at it, flying towards the horizon here, or over here, or over here, it's going to start changing direction. It doesn't. It just comes over and keeps going. There's nothing balloon. Forget about balloon. Just forget about balloon. Don't worry about it.
But you don't know if it gets to here. You don't know.
I just showed you with science. There's the wind. There's the wind. You can see the wind. There's science. That the balloon would drift with the wind and go up here.
Oh, God. Right, I've had enough.
The balloon was over here, the balloon would go here, then the balloon would go here, then the balloon would go here. It follows the wind. It follows the wind.
Well, let's move on topic again.
I just proved it with science. There you have it, folks. Science
you
proves
blinded
it's not a
me
balloon.
with science, Magnus Pike. And again, you didn't listen to anything I had to say, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Nothing you said made any sense. I debunked everything you said.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying.
Yeah, you got debunked. You got debunked, punked.
No, it's just I just don't want to keep going over it. That's all. I just think it's interesting, and it's something that needs to be documented better, and more information about it would really help. If someone else was maybe miles away and filmed the same thing, maybe you could triangulate and work out the heights and distances and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, we got to keep it middle ground here and just say at this stage there's just not enough information to determine what it is, and we can't rule out it being man-made stuff. Of course,
you've been telling me for half an hour Chinese balloon. Who makes a Chinese spy balloon with a huge disco light in it so everyone can see it? That makes no sense at all. It's a spy balloon. You don't have lights in it.
I didn't say spy balloon.
It's not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there. It's a spy balloon.
Chinese weather balloon.
You just said for half an hour Chinese spy balloon. I said the wind.
No, I'm only using that reference because that's what mainstream media has brainwashed everybody to thinking it.
We're not mainstream media here. Forget about mainstream media.
Yeah, but everybody in the side chat probably listens.
They tell you what they want, whatever agenda they want you to think. You don't want to listen to mainstream media.
People get programmed what they hear out there, right? That's the problem. But we got to be middle ground here and just follow the facts and evidence. And at the moment, we just haven't got enough to do anything with that. I think he's scared of Rob. I'm not sure.
Maybe his internet went down.
I don't know. I didn't get any email from him. But anyway, I got to wrap up in a minute anyway and take the dog out and wind down for the night. But yeah, I was just going to try and get through all these tabs. And again, we ended up talking about your stuff.
See you, Paul. See you, mate.
Oh, who's going? All right, he's going. Yeah, I'm not too sure where Rob got to, unfortunately. But yeah, we could. I said he could go anytime he wanted to because it wasn't organised. So it was like a last minute. Oh, let's do a show now and cover some of this stuff that's just come out. I'll just close it down there anyway, and I'll just finish up this document here about this Trinity UFO hoax crash. So this is the guy talking about Jacques Vallée now. Jacques Vallée has made impressive contributions to multiple fields over his long life. He is now 83, including influential books of analysis and reflection on the nature of the UFO phenomenon. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Vallée is widely respected among people who take aspects of the subject of UFO seriously, and so on. So he's saying that he has done some good stuff, but this UFO crash that he wrote a book on is proven a hoax. Vallee first heard about the case from his friend Ron Brinkley in October 2017, but apparently only because immersed in it after he first visited with Paula Harris in October 2018. From the start, Vallee has depended heavily upon Harris material regarding that visit. Vallee wrote The Trinity, The Best Kept Secret, 2nd edition, page 54. There had been no publicity, no big story, no interest from TV reporters, and only casual attention for a few ufologists. In the 1945 crash story, Paula had only consisted historical data and was eager to upgrade the research. Regrettably, in my view, Vallee invested in the Trinity case his prestige, and he has also devoted some portion of his reportedly ample financial resources to promoting it. He hired the publicist, who appears to have been quite efficient in doing so. I believe that the octogenarian scientist has placed his trust in persons unworthy of that trust. So he got hoodwinked. I suppose it can happen to all of us if we're not careful. Still, I was forced to conclude that Vallee himself has displayed an extraordinary degree of confirmation bias. He has neglected to heed numerous warning signs. He has at times displayed impatience, perhaps veering into the displays of arrogance when presented with meritorious objections to the case. Moreover, I'm troubled that Vallee has carefully cherry-picked from the utterances of a star correlating witness, Billy Billy Brophy, I suppose that's how you say, omitting such claims as the recovery of alien, both living and dead. Perhaps I speculate because he felt that such elements would be disruptive to the polished narrative, a bridge too far for some readers. I believe that Harris and Vallee both were seriously remiss and failing to conduct elementary background research into checkable claims by their so-called witnesses. In the absence of such true investigation, I regard as particularly regrettable that Vallee chose to use news media to interject a story with a rotten foundation into a nascent congressional mandated study of the federal government's past involvement in UFO related matters. So this is new out a couple of days ago, I suppose, or a couple of days ago. How will the promoters of the Baka Padella tale respond? In April 17, 2023, I submitted to Jacques Vallée through his publishers a request for a 30-minute on-record interview in which I would ask questions based on some of my findings. With the request, I also submitted 3 questions that are regarded as simple. Dr. Vallée declined to interview requests and answered one of the 3 questions. The complete email exchange is reproduced below. So yeah, this goes on a bit, doesn't it? So probably best to post the link to you so you can actually read all this out yourself about this particular case. And doesn't look good for Vallee. Like Rob Farmer had said, They really should pull both the books off the shelf, like Peter Robinson's book, Left at Eastgate, or whatever it was called, for the Redison Forest incident. And that's how you save face, really, isn't it? Mr. Johnson, as you may know from our book, our team's investigation of the Trinity case is an ongoing process. So this sounds like an opt-out to me. Oh, here's the book and story, but we'll update it if new information comes to light and blah blah blah, right? We are about to return to the site and related areas of expanded investigations next month, and we'll have new labs analysis under review. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap up soon. No? Given these plans, we welcome the research and active... I just got interrupted. And advice of other serious researchers, and we'll take their findings into account. Well, the ball's in his court now. This guy's got evidence of these people being hoaxes. There's no excuse, really. On April 19th, 2023, I sent an email to Paula Harris, with whom I never previously communicated. I set forth 3 simple questions asking the dates on which she had conducted 2 previously published interviews with key figures in the case, and asking whether she holds US citizenship, later point having legal significance with respect to one of the other public claims, as I discuss in the crash story file. If Harris has responded to these simple inquiries, perhaps additional discussion would have ensued, but I have received no response. Well, that's pretty bad, isn't it? How might we expect Vallee, Hallis and others who have energetically promoted the Trinity UFO crash recovery story to respond to the findings reported in these crash tell files? I would hope to see drastic course correction and abandonment of this hoax and all the spin-off activities. But long observation and experience has taught me that in circumstances such as this, in which individuals have a great deal of time and personal credibility invested in a particular set of claims, this response to new and discomfort evidence is more often generated denial and deflection, avoiding square confirmation of specific disconfirmations. So you can see it goes on a bit. So basically, Jacques Vallée put out a story which is not true, and they did a sloppy job of background checking and should pull the book. That's basically what it boils down to. Summary of my key findings. Okay, so let's just read out one here. In the original tale, both in direct accounts by Remy Becker and Jose Padilla themselves, and the story has more recently been set forth in the Vallee Harris book Trinity, The Best Kept Secret. One key character is New Mexico State Police Officer Eddie Apodaka, consistently in the accounts directly from Becker and Padilla. Apodaka is just a random state policeman sent in response to a trouble call. No, he is someone already well known to the Fustinto Padilla I'm not sure how you say that, a friend of the family who is summoned to help deal with a puzzling situation. Apotheca was identified as follows by Remy Becker in his 2011 book, Born in the Edge of Ground Zero. State policeman Eddie Apotheca, family friend, who has been summoned by Festinto, arrived at the Padella home. Moreover, in the Becker Pandela tale, Eddie Apotheca is one of the only 3 named human beings known to have entered the downed alien craft. I found that Eddie Apotheca was a real New Mexican state police officer who was assigned to Socorro County, New Mexico, where Becker and Padella grew up in the early 1950s when they were in their early teens. However, I've documented that Eddie Apotheca was not commissioned as a police officer until January 1951. In August 1945, the date of the fictional UFO crash, Eddie Apotheca was with his army unit in Germany. Yes, in August 1945. Apotheca was very much closer to 5-year-old Jacques Vallée than to San Antonio, New Mexico. So the dates don't line up in the locations, so that's a red flag in the story straight off, right? Probably's got a lot more here. There's good evidence that the 2 eyewitnesses, especially Remy Becker, had hoped to raise a substantial sum of money with their tale and that they made repeated attempts to do so. It's not clear, however, that any of those efforts were ever terribly successful. More discussion of the peculiarity aspects of the Trinity Case hoax are found here. Yeah, I wish this summary were a bit single-liners. A summary of the summary, because I got to get going now. But yeah, Becker fabricated a fantastical, implausible tale. But a lot of people like it in ufology, and they won't let it go, probably. Yeah, see, he's got a lot here. So he's done an in-depth dive into the story and found all the red flags, and it just goes on and on. But now you know about it, and I think we've talked probably enough on it. And there's Nick Pope on Fox News talking about it, is it? I don't know. Anyway, I'll post a link to it and you can have a read of all that yourself. So, when you start hearing around other podcasts and YouTube channels that are talking about it, maybe you now know about this story here about why it's a hoax. So, just zoom that back down a bit. So this is the Trinity, because of the name of the UFO test site, UFO crash. Yeah, people can make up lots of interesting sci-fi stories in ufology and get away with it. And when you got some credible names, you expect them to be credible, right? Who would have thought Jacques Vallée is putting out a fake story? But there you go. So I was going to look at some other stuff, but it looks like we've run out of time this show. But it doesn't mean I might not do another one in a couple of days. And we'll go over the other stuff that I didn't have time to cover. More UFO stuff and other stories. We got Chuck Clark and the so-called Area 51 UFO case. I was going to cover that, but it's like we're going to have to push it to another live show, guys. So gonna sort of wrap up now. We haven't had too many people on tonight because it is a late night show, which is really more suitable for people that know about us, that follow us at UK time slots. Or if they're obviously they're sleeping or going to work, obviously in midweek as well. So again, all that impacts on how many people bother to show up tonight, which they'll definitely watch it offline. So yeah, so there was a few unrelated stories that got in there and Gabber's stuff. So it's all sort of interesting. So if you joined us late, just go back once it's processed and watch it. And I'll probably up it at Spotify and Apple Podcasts soon. Yorkshire. Oh, Michael King just joined us. Sorry, mate. I thought maybe you've been working. But you'll probably have to watch it back in your own time now. You've missed it all. And I'm not sure what happened to Robert, but he disappeared. I think maybe he had some network problems. I don't know. But thanks for joining us anyway. I just got to wrap up now and take the dog out and all that sort of business. I think I did like 3 hours here anyway now, isn't it? It must have got on a bit. Oh yes, coming up to 3 hours. So that's what I was going to do tonight. Alright, yeah, we'll rewind shortly. Yeah, so I might do another show in a couple of days and get through all the other stuff. But you know, as when we get Gab on the side, sometimes the shows double in size and change direction. But that makes it more interesting, I guess, rather than other shows. So I'll say good night now, because I've got a dash, and I need to go to the toilet anyway. And thanks for joining us, liking and sharing. And we'll see you again next live, and hopefully have some more interesting stuff for you. Good night all. Thanks for joining us, and chipping in on the side your own thoughts and whatnot. Good night all, and take care on the roads. The Kiwi Matrix is shutting down the studio. And the music track, I think, was written by our German friend, or acquaintance through his music. Lobo Loco, I think it was this one. You can find his stuff on Free Music Archive. You can find the name in the description. Alright, time to end it.